Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ASAP in the morning. It is March 15th. I'm joined here by Aman. Aman, how you feeling today, my guy?
Feeling good. NFL free agency is definitely in a frenzy, but we're dialed in, so we're ready to go.
Bro, NFL free agency really broke my heart. JC Jackson, you hurt me. You hurt me. I saw it coming, though. You know,
Yep.
I knew he was going to leave. You know, it still hurts. Still hurts. I was talking to one of my boy, Frankie, matter of fact. He's mad that we didn't franchise tag him. I don't know. I feel like a franchise tag would have been too messy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's been the last few years. You get a guy on a franchise tag, it always ends up with a whole bunch of drama, which you basically end up losing them anyway.
Yep.
Or it ends up being a Kirk Cousins situation where he gets still paid a donk zillion dollars.
Donk. Yeah.
Bless his heart. Bless his heart. But speaking of Kirk Cousins, so I don't know if you heard. My guy, they gave him a 1-year extension, $35 million, fully guaranteed. Why?
They couldn't find a trade partner, apparently. And again, the roster's there, and they're looking for that next quarterback. And I just felt that they said, we have no other option. I guess that's the only thing they said. They said they didn't think Mitch could work. They don't think Teddy could work. They don't. To me, that was it. They felt, okay, you know what? We're not going to try to find something new if we can't get Deshaun. I think once Deshaun said he didn't come in or whatever, they said, you know what? All right, we're just going to go lock up what we have, and then we'll look from there. But again, 35 fully guaranteed for Kirk Cousins. Again, 35 is the quarterback rate for Kirk Cousins, but fully guaranteed seems a little bit much for me. I think they're so scared of being bad, they'd rather be mediocre. That's just what it feels like when I look at it.
I mean, and the thing is like I love Kirk Cousins. That's my dude. Kirk Cousins will earn $40 million in 2022 and $30 million in 2023. So in total, it is $50 million. By all of it is guaranteed. I like Kirk Cousins. Don't get it twisted. I'm a Kirk Cousins dude. I like him. By the way, John Suggs, we're gonna talk about that in a few minutes. I do like Kirk Cousins, but at 33, I don't know, man. Luckily, it's not a long-term deal, so I get it. But at some point, you're going to have to make a decision. Like, you're going to have to make a move, right? I believe that the reason the Minnesota Vikings are just trash is because Mike Zimmer. That's just me. I think he deserves a huge bulk of the blame. As much as I do like Kirk Cousins, though, when you get paid that type of money, you need to be able to control that offense to some degree. For me, it almost seems like Kirk Cousins doesn't really run the offense. He's just kind of a passenger.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like when you see Patrick Mahomes out there, you see him kind of sometimes trying to make some adjustments. Yeah, sure. He's not the best at it, but at least you see him learning, right?
Yep.
You'll see it sometimes. Aaron Rodgers, when he feels like actually trying to win a game, he'll do it. Tom Brady, we've seen Drew Brees. Heck, we've even seen Joe Burrow. Yes. Let's be honest, bro. Like,
yes.
So it's like when you look over at Kirk Cousins, he doesn't do that. It's so bizarre. And it's like you're paying him like he's doing it, but he's not.
Right. Yeah. It's tricky. It's a tricky situation because, again, you want him to control something. And I agree with you. I don't think Zimmer was very good for his last
100%.
part of the year.
And like I said, I blame him. I think he deserves to take a huge chunk of the blame. Now,
Yeah,
obviously, I'm still putting some blame on Kirk Cousins because, again, when you're getting paid like that, you need to be able to control the tempo a little bit.
Yes.
You know, you need to be able to control the reins and say, nah, this is what we're doing or whatever. But bless his heart. Speaking of bless their heart, my guy, Christian Kirk, got paid. Bless his heart to the umpteenth degree, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. When I first saw it, I thought it was fake. No. I'm being serious. Have you ever heard, like, you know, those fake Twitter things that sometimes,
bro? When they said Tom Brady had unretired, I thought that was fake. I was checking the username. I thought it was like
100%.
Bleacher Report. Have you seen that? It's not Bleacher Report. It's Bleacher Report. That's what I thought I saw. I was like, this ain't real.
Same. And I was so focused on calling it fake that I completely ignored the fact that it had a verified check mark. So, for those of you who don't know, Christian Kirk has signed a 4-year, $84 million deal, which makes him the third highest paid wide receiver. 74% of it is guaranteed. I think it's like 30 million is guaranteed, and it's like the rest was like a signing bonus.
Jeez.
So it's basically like straight up guaranteed. And he basically has a maximum value of $21 million per year. Bless his heart, man. When I saw this, I was like, you know what, Christian Kirk, pop off, King. Pop off. Like, live your life, shoot your shot. No disrespect. But I don't think it's gonna work. Doesn't say he just set the wide receiver market, which is bad news.
I was about to get there.
Adams. Oh, 100%. And it's funny because I was on my show yesterday and I was talking about this. Devontae Adams is looking at this and is like, hold on.
He licking his lips, man. He licking his lips.
He's like, on God, if this mofo is getting 21 a year, on my mama, I'm getting 35.
Bro, if he's a third best receiver on his team, on the Cardinals, he was number 3, and he got third wide receiver money. So,
and by the way, he was number 3, and at times number 4. Like, you know what I mean? Because let's be honest, that wide receiver room in Arizona was deep. And there were some times where Christian Kirk would basically be an afterthought because they had other guys who could go in. He wasn't the number 1. He wasn't the number 2. And like I said, he wasn't even always the number 3. He was always like the 3 or the 4. Yeah. So, I mean, again, 92,000 yards. I'm sorry. I said 92,000. I'm dumb. 982 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. Solid. For a guy that everyone keeps telling me is young. He was drafted in 2018. So it's like, how young is he? You know?
Yeah, no.
Again, bless his heart. Hey, God bless the kid.
Go off, you know. I mean,
may nothing but good things happen to this kid. It's not going to bode well for Devontae Adams. I promise you that right now. It's not going to bode well with his relationship with the Packers. Because like you said, Amon, after the end of this, Devontae Adams is like, I'm getting paid now.
Yeah. Now, I think 20 million would have sufficed him before. Now he sees 21 to Christian Kirk said, brother, I need 25. I need 25. I'm sorry.
100%.
Minimum, I need 25.
I agree with you. I think 20 would have made him be okay. Yeah. I think 20 would have kept him calm, cool, and collected. Imagine, and this is where he probably is glad. He's like, hey, yo, imagine if I signed that and Christian Kirk got paid this. I would have been.
Like, God,
Devontae Adams he would have started betting against this better for the year. Oh, God, bro. He would have been tight. Another one I wanted to talk about. Old Mitchell Trubisky going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Damian asks, do y'all really see Trubisky being a better option than Mason and Dwayne Haskins? Amon, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I do. At least what I think a lot of people. Well, yes, is Mitch Trubisky great? No, he's not. We're gonna throw it out there. But he's 29 and 21 as a starter. He did that with Matt Nagy as his head coach, and the team was very good around him. So we know he at least can just hold the ship together. He's not gonna carry anything. He's gonna be like we were talking about Kirk Cousins, right? He's not gonna change the game. He's not gonna control the game. but he'll at least make sure you don't lose anything. And you're getting him so cheaply. Why go out to go get an expensive guy? He's young and he's your bridge. I think you could see them take a quarterback now and feel comfortable. Hey, we could get 2 years out of Mitch Trubisky and then plug in whoever we want. Is Mason Rudolph the answer? I think we already know that's a no. Is Dwayne Haskins the answer? If if he can control what he does off the field, then maybe, but that's not a given. Mitch Trubisky, from all signs, is at least hardworking. He's in the building and he's going to do what he can. Again, it doesn't have the biggest arm, but when you talk about Ben Roethlisberger for the past couple of years, this kid is incredibly more athletic, can at least make some moves outside the pocket, and you can do some different things. And I think it opens up the playbook a little bit more because Mason Rudolph, to me, is still not that athletic. He still feels a lot like Big Ben in his last couple of years where he's not going to make a lot of moves outside the pocket. The arm isn't great. Dwayne Haskins, again, can he control the off the field? I don't know. Mitch Trubisky gives you that option that's steady. Again, not going to win you the game, but probably not going to lose it either. He can do some good things for Pittsburgh as they try to rebuild this team.
I think if we're comparing Mitch Trubisky to Mason Rudolph, Pittsburgh found their new Tom Brady. I've been saying this consistently. Mason Rudolph is dog shit.
Yeah.
He's not good at all. The only reason people want him to be good is because he got his head beat in by his own helmet. Let's talk about it. Let's be honest.
Right.
The only people who support him feel bad that he should have got his head caved in. Yeah, well, fuck him. All right. Like at this point, what are we doing here? Right? He's still not good. Right? He's not good. His decision making is horrible. His accuracy is subpar at best. His power is extremely inconsistent. His IQ is ridiculous. This dude will have someone running a 10 and in wide open. The dumb fuck will underthrow someone on a fly route.
Right. Yeah, again, you had no options at quarterback. You had to go get somebody, and I'd rather go get Mitch Trubisky at a cheap rate than try to hang my hat on one of these guys.
I will say this. I do think Mitch Trubisky does get a bad rap.
Yeah.
I do think so because, let's be honest here. Justin Fields, the first couple weeks of the regular season, he was looking like a bust. Let's be honest.
He didn't look very good. No, he had flashes, but he didn't have a consistent moment.
No, he looked horrible.
Yeah.
And it's not because he's horrible. It's because, everything Matt Nagy touches does not turn to gold. So honestly, I think the Matt Nagy stigma is on Mitchell Trubisky. I think this is a great place for him to change it.
Yeah.
And go, because again, you have a solid run game. I like Najee Harris. You know what I mean? How about, you guys actually use him as a running back instead of, having Big Ben throw it to him, which is weird. Everyone's like, oh my God, he doesn't run the ball. Oh, well, duh, because Big Ben still wants to throw it. Like, what do you want from him? But you have a solid running back, could take some of the pressure off him. Whatever Chase Claypool wants to do, just release him, cut him. I don't care. Like the dude is just mid at best. It's ridiculous. I like Mitch though. I think he'll do well. John talk. Have y'all heard the Colts rumors interest in Marcus Mariota? Now, Amon, I don't know how you feel about this. I am perplexed.
Mm-hmm.
Really am. I don't know what the Colts have seen in Marcus Mariota, but whatever they've seen, they like because they traded Carson Wentz, and the only quarterback that they want right now, the only quarterback they're making any play for, is Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
I need you to convince me on why this is the right move.
I think they're saying, okay, Marcus didn't make a lot of mistakes. In Tennessee, he wasn't going to ever throw the ball down the field, and they don't have their weapons to go down the field anyway. So what I think they're trying to do is say, we can incorporate some zone read stuff with Jonathan Taylor, use Marcus Mariota in that aspect, and then also have Michael Pittman on some RPO stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking of. But I just think they're desperate for any quarterback. To be quite honest, I heard reports that they were interested in Jordan Love. No one's interested in Jordan Love. The Packers aren't interested in Jordan Love. Am I saying he's going to be bad? No, but no one's seen anything to be interested in Jordan Love. They are so desperate for a quarterback. I thought they should have tried to get, I don't know if they did or didn't, but they should have tried to get Taylor Heineke in the Wentz deal to at least have an option. They have no option. They don't like Ellinger in the building. They don't like Eason in the building. And Marcus Mariota is the cheapest guy they can go get. And again, can he run some of the zone read stuff with the RPO? Sure. Is he a long-term answer? Absolutely not. The Colts are in another position where they're kind of like the Broncos. They got the team. They just don't got the quarterback, and they're just waiting to hit some gold They're not going to be in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes because they're in the AFC South. Rodgers obviously ain't going to be available for a while. They're in a bad spot, so that's why they just keep going after this kid, and they're going to keep going after Marcus Mariota because he's the only kid that's going to be available for him.
And it's kind of funny because, I said this before, there's no reason they should have moved on from Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
There was no reason why. I don't know why you did that.
There was reports that he and the coaches weren't getting along or something, that they didn't like the coaches' style.
Yeah, you say that, but whatever. Who cares?
That's the only reason I could think of was that report. That's the only negative thing.
Yeah, bro, if that's the case, then, quit. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, get over it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand it at all. Marcus Mariota is not a good quarterback. He is a nice gimmick guy. But because of his athleticism, right. He was like a Taysom Hill before Taysom Hill really was popular. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, ain't no way, bro. You're not winning. You're not doing absolutely positively 1,000% nothing with Marcus Mariota as your starting quarterback. You don't believe me? Why do you think Tennessee gave up on him?
Right.
And let's be honest. When he went to the Raiders, during a time where they could not stand Derek Carr and they wanted to replace him. Let me say this one more time. He went to a team who the position that they drafted him for, the current guy in that position, you were drafted to be his replacement because they didn't like him. Yeah. You do the math.
Yeah, he couldn't see the field. It's only in the red zone when they want to run the zone option. And that's
it.
Again, that's the only thing I can see working in Indy is, okay, well, everyone's going to sink to Jonathan Taylor, so now I got a free lane. And if they don't sink to Taylor, he's breaking to he's going to the house. So, again, they really are just out of options, and they don't have – Teddy Bridgewater just got signed by the Miami Dolphins yesterday, and I thought he would be a guy they would try to be the backup. And I thought he would be the guy that they go after. They have nobody to go after. They didn't get Mitch. They didn't get anybody. They didn't get Heineke in the trade. So now they're stuck with Marcus Mariota.
It's hilarious. Obviously, we have more, there'll be more things popping off of free agency. A lot of guys getting released, a lot of guys moving. So the last one I want to touch on, this one hurt my soul. J.C. Jackson. Going from the East Coast to the West Coast. And might I say, and again, granted, I am upset that that he left, but the deal he got paid was exquisite. 5-year, $82.5 million with the Chargers. Of that, $40 million of it is guaranteed, which, again, bless his heart. Bless his heart. Let me ask you something.
Yep.
Do you believe that this makes their defense, with the addition of J.C. Jackson, with the acquisition, obviously, of Khalil Mack, you have Joey Bosa, you have Derwin James, all that, does this make this defense a Super Bowl caliber defense?
Yes, because that offense is just still that good. The offense didn't go anywhere, and that's the thing here. In this division, who has a better defense, right? We talk about the AFC West is loaded offensively. The Chiefs' defense is suspect at best. They let Matthew go, and now you're going to see a lot more Daniel Sorensen. And if you're a Chiefs fan, you don't want to see a lot more of Sorensen playing safety. That's not what you want. Denver, yeah, they can be good at times, but also, there you go. That's your number one thing in the defensive department. But their offense hadn't clicked, and now you got a new quarterback in there. The Raiders, you don't really think but the Raiders are going to be much. So you talk about the offense staying the same and the defense. Now you have teams don't want to attack Derwin James aside the field because he's so athletic. He can make so many plays. But JC gets interceptions. Doesn't even matter. He had 17 last year. I think the Chargers last 3 years had 17 or something like that. That was the stat I read. So you're going to create turnovers. This defense with that offense is definitely more than capable of winning a Super Bowl and getting them there. Again, you talk about that division. We're talking about the AFC West in this high regard. The Chiefs' defense is suspect. The Broncos have a new offense to insert, and the Raiders we're not really thinking about. They right now, to me, are the best team in the AFC West.
Yeah, and by the way, one thing I like about J.C. Jackson, the interceptions, he doesn't give up touchdowns too.
Yeah, he don't bite.
Yeah, but
not targeted at anybody, No.
Is that what?
We were not. No,
I didn't say nothing. No. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now. If I stepped on your shoes at home, if I stepped on them, don't scream because no one will know it hurt. That's all. We ain't talking about nobody. I ain't mentioning nobody specifically.
Nope.
I will say this though. The Chargers, I think this year, I think they saw what the Rams did.
Absolutely.
And
I was thinking of that.
And I think that's their mentality now.
Mhm.
I think now they're going with the F it, why not?
And you got to pay
take
your quarterback.
advantage. You need to take advantage of Justin Herbert's rookie contract.
Yep.
You need to take advantage, and you need to take advantage of it now.
Yes.
You're paying this kid cheap. This is when you start trying to get other pieces. Because that way, when you see the success, this is where you win. Because now it's more likely he'll take a discount. Now it's more likely he will take a discount. You know? Again, bless his heart, man. God bless JC Jackson. Have a hell of a career, kid. Just come back. Just come back one day.
At the end, come back.
Yeah, just come back one day. You know what I mean? Still, just come back, and we'll go from there. So DJ Chark signs a 1-year deal with Detroit. Stupidity. Makes literally no sense whatsoever. Defensive tackle DJ Jones is leaving San Fran and signed a 3-year deal with the Denver Broncos. It's a 3-year, $30 million deal. Frank Clark and the Kansas City Chiefs reworked his current deal.
Okay.
It is now 2 years and worth up to $36 million. Bless his heart. What was his name? The safety from Houston. There was a safety from Houston that went to Kansas City.
Okay.
Which I thought was positively hilarious. Because I was like, this will do absolutely nothing for your defense at all, bro.
Justin Reed.
Yes, Justin Reed, yeah. I was like, that will absolutely do positively 100% nothing for your defense. And in my opinion, and I every time I say this to people, there's always someone who gets mad at me. You just signed another Sorensen.
Well, they think since he came from Houston, he's going to end up being Tyrann Mathieu. You know, that's kind of the mold they're going after.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's kind of what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's like, you watch baseball, right?
A little bit.
It's basically like what the Atlanta Braves just did. Like, they traded for Matt Olson. So that way they could tell Freddie Freeman, yeah, bro, like, you're trash, kid. Like,
you're trash.
That's basically what they did here. They just got him and they look at a honey badger like, you're trash, kid. And like, they're just trying to move on from it, which.
You see what the Bengals did yesterday?
Last time I heard, they signed one of Tampa's
they signed Alex Kappa,
lineman,
the guard, and then they also got Ted Karras from the Patriots. He played guard and center there too.
Ooh, see, so they're smart.
They're smart. They're going after what they needed to. They can't get Joe Burrow having 50 sacks again. That's not a recipe for success.
Yeah, he led the league. He led the league in it.
Yep.
And he led the league in getting sacked and getting hit.
Yep.
Good thing they're actually getting him help, because that was the concern I had. Like, would they actually get him that help? Yeah. That was the concern. And as soon as they're doing it. But they're making smart moves. They're making smart moves, especially when you see a kid like Joe Burrow, who's been playing great, who's brave and whatnot. Like, 110%. I just saw a picture of Freddie Freeman and a Dodgers. You know how they be photoshopping?
Yeah.
And his hands are like this. So he's supposed to have his hands up like this.
Like this.
Yeah. So is that even the right hand? Oh no, it is. It is. Yeah. So I guess this is how Freddie Freeman cheers. I guess. Yeah. God bless him. But yeah, man, obviously I expect more moves, because obviously there's still guys like Jarvis Landry out there who, if New England does not get him, me and Bill Belichick, we're going to have a sit-down conversation and figure out what's going on, because at some point, I love Bill Belichick, but,
You ain't got Brady no more. Go get
I
your
mean,
QB
yeah,
some
bro.
help.
Like at this
Go get your
point, we
QB some
got
help.
to, yeah, bro. Like we gotta make some moves, man. Like, come on, me. We gotta, you know, we gotta make something happen, man.
You got to
'Cause
make
again,
something happen.
right. Malik Hooker re-signed with the Cowboys, 2 years, $8 million. By the way, for all the stuff you guys are gonna see on Dallas is all gonna be short deals because they just can't pay anyone. And by the way, about DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
Last time I heard about this, the Dallas came up to him to restructure his deal,
He said no.
and he refused.
Yeah.
And he's like, LOL, all due disrespect, you would have effing thought.
Yeah.
So
Then he agreed yesterday.
So he agreed yesterday?
New 3 years, $40 million, with 30 of it guaranteed.
He's butthurt. He's butthurt. Imagine doing all that just to do it like just.
I think it was the guaranteed money. They gave him some more guaranteed money, so he said, "All right, I'll do your thing."
So okay, all right, which is kind of, I don't want to say it's dumb, but you knew they were gonna take care of you.
Yeah, you're homegrown. They're gonna take care of you. That's
like you know they're gonna take care of you. Why are you gonna be a little crybaby about it? Like, oh no, I don't want to do it.
It ended up working out for him.
By the way, every time we talk about free agency, I'm gonna say this: Amari Cooper's not our number one. So just want to throw that out there because I was informed that he's supposedly.
Well, I like to. Michael Gallup ain't one either, so
Dog, Michael Gallup got paid too.
Yeah, yesterday he got paid,
and I thought that was by far. Let me ask you something. So Michael Gallup, 5 years, $62 million, right? Or 62.5, right? Now, I get it. You're not giving him as much as Christian Kirk, but I think this is a worse contract than Christian Kirk.
Yeah, because I still hold Christian Kirk in a higher regard than I hold Michael Gallup, and Gallup's 29 coming off an ACL as well. So. Again, I don't think he's as vital to Dak's success as, say, Amari Cooper was. You know what I mean? Like, I think when Amari was on the field, Dak was a much better quarterback than when Gallup was on the field.
Yeah, so he's 26. 26. Coming off of a torn ACL in a system where he was the fourth option?
3 or 4, and they lost Cedric Wilson too. So
it's like. Then he says, "Are y'all shocked nobody signed Allen Robinson yet?"
I like A-Rob, but I'm not shocked no one signed him quite yet. I think he's gonna get away his options.
I think where he's at, he's gonna have to get a prove a deal.
Probably. 100%.
He's gonna have to get like a 2-year with a player option.
Might happen in Chicago.
Maybe. It could be.
You could go to Tampa and get a prove a deal,
I mean, look, he's gonna have to prove it. He's gonna have to prove it.
100%.
Because with all the injuries, and again, it's not really can you ball because he's a baller. Let's not get that. Let's not mistake that. But I just thought, I don't know. For me, I like Allen Robinson, but let's be fair here. A lot of people do not hold him that high regard.
100%.
Shame. Really is.
Yeah, they hold Michael Gallup in high regards and they hold Allen Robinson. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yo, mine is throwing jabs out here, dog.
I gotta make up for Dustin, man. Dustin came in so hot yesterday. I gotta make up for it a little bit.
He was spicy, bro.
He was so spicy, bro. He was the Carolina Reaper, man.
I couldn't handle it. I was scared. I wanted to tell him to stop, but I was scared because I was like, nah, if I do, he gonna come at me. I was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, you know what, pop off, kid. I was like, nah, let it rock.
I grew up in an Indian household, but it was too spicy for me, man.
It's too spicy for me. Obviously, there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff popping up, and as more free agency news leaks in, I implore you guys, please follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Anytime anything happens, we put it up there. So for all the updates, follow ASAP Network. All sports, all plays on Facebook and Twitter. Keeping it to the NFL, Deshaun Watson is expected to make his decision in about 48 hours. I did read something where he basically has eliminated the Eagles, and the two top teams on his list are the Saints and the Panthers.
Yes.
So, Man, let's start with this. Him rejecting the Eagles. Was that really a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Eagles kind of offered. In my opinion, I don't really see much for the Eagles anyway. I never understood why people were so high on Deshaun going to Philly. I know he'd turn it around, but I didn't think it was a team like we talked about Carolina not having a lot of pieces that maybe that's New Orleans have. Philly doesn't hold the kind of pieces that even Carolina has. So I never really held them in high regard. I still think their offensive line's a huge issue. The defense never really played well, and I know they got out of the NFC East, but dog is the NFC East, so I'm not really concerned about that. So I think the Panthers and the Saints make a lot more sense than Philly. Also, there's a report from an hour ago that he's going to meet with the Browns. So another team that's going to be up there.
Yep. John said something earlier, and I'm glad you retyped it, John, because I didn't want to go and find it. Watson to the Panthers or Cardinals. Now, he did say something. All right. This is why he said the Cards. He said the Cardinals clearly need Watson, or clearly, they have the spot. They clearly have the cap space for Watson. Watson done pretty good with one of the receivers, that being DeAndre Hopkins. He also has so much more at Cards, and I think it's a good deal for both of them. I have mixed emotions on this one.
Yeah.
Because on paper, I do get what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Where I have to push back is I don't think they're giving up on Kyler Murray yet.
That's the only thing.
I don't think they're in that position to give up on him yet. I think they're still willing to give him time. I just think what's going on with them is both of them, the season ended bitterly, extremely bitterly. And usually when that happens, fingers get pointed and dudes kind of get all butthurt and whatnot. I just think right now they just need some space to kind of breathe and collect themselves. Kyler said he wants to go back and he wants a long-term deal. The Cardinals said we want to give him a long-term deal. So I think they're going to be able to kiss and make up. I just think right now they're going through some stuff and they just need a little bit of space. They need a little bit of space before Kyler Murray tells someone to lick his little toes and then someone call him a kid. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure when someone calls him a kid, he's got to get traded, 110%. Mm-hmm. Dustin said Watson will go to the Panthers. Carolina said they'll let him choose the next coach if he goes there, or at least have a say in the matter. Ooh, Sweeney.
I don't know about Sweeney in Carolina, but he definitely would have a say in the next head coach in Carolina for sure. And I think that's all he wants, right? He wants to have some say. And I think the big reason why he wanted to get out of Houston was they hired Caserio without even consulting him. He was like, dude, come on now. At least ask me about the thing. I think if they had said, hey, look, we want to sign Caserio, you go with that, he'd been like, all right, whatever. Right? I think all this would have been avoided. Right. But then since they didn't do that, he was all right, you know what? I want out. I agree with you on the Cardinals. I don't think they're ready to move off of Kyler. They brought in Cliff Kingsbury, said draft your guy. They go draft Kyler Murray. Now, I think Deshaun probably ends up being better than Kyler anyway, but again, I just don't think they're ready to move off of Kyler Murray just because of how well he's done in that system. And Carolina, to me, I told you yesterday, I think they have a lot of the pieces. They signed yesterday the Rams offensive guard too. So I thought that was another big move. Xavier Woods, they brought in a safety. So I think Carolina makes a lot of sense for Deshaun.
Yeah. By the way, why isn't Seattle making moves for Watson? They were, but Deshaun Watson has a no trade clause. Okay. So if he doesn't want to go to that team, he won't waive it. And Seattle is not one of those teams that he'll go to. So Seattle tried, but they didn't want him. Here's one thing though, because he does, because there are rumors that he wants to go to the Saints. This is the elephant in the room that people keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Unless Deshaun Watson is just gonna he's basically gonna go signing trade, then get released so he doesn't get paid. Then comes back on a minimum deal.
No money.
Because now the only way you can do that, because again, in order for the Saints to make it work, guess who they're gonna have to get rid of?
Taysom Hill.
They're gonna have to get rid. Not Taysom Hill. No.
Cam, is it Cam as well?
Kamara, Alvin Kamara. I don't know why I said Kamara. Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas.
And I don't think Houston would be willing to take Kamara right now just based off his circumstances for what happened in Vegas. Again, I'm not saying anything's going to happen in terms of jail time, but he got arrested. I don't know if Houston's willing to say, we'll give you.
You don't know. He might get suspended. That's
what I'm saying. So I don't think they're willing to make that move to go get Kamara.
Right. So that's kind of, a whole thing. Ooh, excuse me. Where it's like, I just don't, and I'll be honest, I am not, this is just me. I am not one of the guys who think going to Carolina is the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
But,
how do you feel about the Eagles, Pride?
About them not picking them up?
Or like Deshaun saying, no, I don't want to go there. Did you think that he should have been there versus Carolina, or how do you feel about the Eagles in that sense?
But real quick, John, the Panthers want to resign him. They do want to get because if I'm not mistaken, I believe he got one more year, I think.
Yeah, he has one more year on the contract.
Yeah, so he still has one more year. So he's still under contract, but they don't want to trade him to get Deshaun Watson. They still want to try to keep them together. So, yeah. But look, if I'm Deshaun, I would have went to the Eagles.
Okay.
That's just me. I would have went to the Eagles and I'm looking at it from a multitude of ways. First and foremost, I think when you have like a lot of those guys who love running deep, Deshaun Watson loves throwing the ball deep. Okay. So automatically right there in terms of, he'll fit relatively nice, right?
Right.
And then obviously, I think him and Jalen Reagor, I think that can help clean up Jalen Reagor's rep right now because, we all know he ain't looking so hot right now.
He ain't Jay Jettas, so that's the issue.
Yeah, but I do think if you would have an established quarterback,
right? Yeah.
That if he would be all right. And you also got to look at the division. You put Watson in that Eagles team. This is the Eagles team that just made the wild card. You replace Jalen Hurts, who I like, with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
You could potentially win this division. You could potentially win this division. Because now who has the best quarterback in the division? The Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah.
So when you have the best quarterback, you got somewhat of a fighting chance. So I personally I didn't like him saying no to it. Only because the other options are like, why? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. You want the Saints, but the Saints can't afford you.
Right.
So if they can't afford you, what's the point? Why go there, And then, the Panthers, God knows what they got going on. God knows what they're thinking about. So now that's kind of like a whole other thing. I'll be honest, and it's wild to say this. I think the Eagles would have been the most stable spot for them.
Okay.
That's just me. You know what I mean? I just think it would have been the most stable spot. The Cowboys re-signing Randy Gregory, 5 years, $70 million, $28 million guaranteed. Yeah. Bobby Wagner's still on the way.
Bobby Wagner's still on the way.
No QB's helping Rager. He needs hand surgery to get 3 inches. To throw some stickum on there. Kid drops more passes. But I'll be honest. I think the reason of his hands, I'll be honest, I think that's a confidence thing.
And sometimes that's the thing. You just lack confidence in yourself.
I think that's what it is. If I had to take a guess, but then again, usually when I see a wide receiver drop passes, I kind of look at it the same way as I see, if a quarterback gets rid of the ball too quickly. I look at it as, okay, hold on. Are you that dumb that you saw that, you were willing to throw the ball before the guy even finished the route? or is there something else to it? So I think it's a confidence thing. And again, I think Jalen Reagor can get it together. I don't think it's over for him. He could definitely get it together. But I do think if you have a quarterback like Deshaun Watson, I think that helps immensely.
Yeah,
I really do.
And to your point here, remember before the show we talked about N'Keal Harry, and I think it's the same thing kind of with Jalen Reagor. It's like I never thought Jalen Reagor was going to be great, but I think because you see what Justin Jefferson is doing, and the Eagles could have had Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I think that's what's hurting him a lot more too. Is everyone says we could have Justin Jefferson instead of you. So I think that comparison is a big reason why people are ready just to move off of him. And again, I've never been the biggest fan of Jalen Reagor, so I'm not going to sit here and say I've always supported him through whatever it is. But I think that is also another big thing of people want him to be Justin Jefferson, and he's just not there yet. Can he be? Maybe, but I think if you have a quarterback, it definitely helps his situation a lot more. Yeah,
and again, like I said, I just I feel for the kid, I really do. But it's just but yeah, to go back to the Deshaun Watson thing, I wholeheartedly believe that it would have been the Eagles would have been the best spot. Okay. I think it would have been the best spot. I think it would have been the cleanest spot because, again, this is just me. I think the Eagles have a better roster top to bottom.
Okay.
Than the Panthers. I like Christian McCaffrey, but now it's starting to get to a point where like his injury is starting to impact him. So, but I was saying he was the best running back in the league, but I can't say that anymore. I can't because if you can have all the talent in the world, if you're not on the field, it doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
It really doesn't mean a thing. So, you got that, and now they're gonna have to consider running back by committee, or at least lining him up at wide receiver, something so that way he doesn't get injured as much. That way he's not taking that many hits. They still need to figure all that out. They need to figure out what they want to do with him. Defensively, they're okay. I think they're solid defensively. A nice young team, which give them a few more years. I think they'll be something to reckon with. But the offensive line is
not great, not at all. Panthers offensive line is not good at all.
But the offensive line it was bad. Like you said, they're making moves to fix it. So hats off to them. But I just believe right now, I think Eagles would have been the cleaner fit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean? Now I don't know why he's saying anything about the Saints because they can't unless he's gonna take a veteran minimum.
Yeah, that's the thing because the Saints have to give up so many pieces just because of contract wise. You know what I mean?
And the thing is
they could give up just picks, but they're not going to have the money to keep you on the roster. That's the only thing here.
So when they trade him, they would have to include Alvin Kamara. Exactly. You would have to include probably him and Marshawn Lattimore. You would have to do that. That's something you would do because, and again, like you said, Alvin, who's going to want him right now? Because God knows. Listen, if they don't suspend
same thing with Deshaun, right? No one traded for Deshaun during that year because no one knew what was going on. The same thing with Alvin Kamara. No one has any idea. So
right. So it's going to be interesting. Miles Jack just got let go.
Wow.
So
yep.
He just got let go. Got to save some money after paying Christian Kirk, baby. Miles Jack, where do you think he goes?
Man, I would have said Green Bay, but they don't have any money. I would have said Dallas, but they don't have any money. Who the Chargers, just screw it. Just throw another one in there. No. To be real, I think Kansas City could be a team that really looks at Miles Jack. I know they just restructured Frank Clark, but they could always use another pass rusher. I think he's going to one of these teams that are just on that Super Bowl brink. I think you could see the Bengals say, you know what, throw another pass rusher, pair him up with Trey Henderson and just let it run. I think they have a lot of teams just who are right there on the bubble could be looking at this kid because when he's on the field, he's good. And it's not just rushing the passer. He can come out, make great tackles in the open field. He can come out in zone coverage. So there's a lot of really good options for him. I think he's going to want to go somewhere where he can win. I think he made a lot of money in Jacksonville. I think he's tired of losing. I think he's going somewhere where they can win. So I could see one of these teams on the bubble of winning the Super Bowl.
He's tired of losing? So send him to New York. Let's send him to the Jets. Put him with a winner. But I think the Patriots would be a team that they would consider. Like you said, the Chargers, because obviously them dudes going all in. I see in the comments, somebody said Tampa Bay. I'm seeing Minnesota. Two viable options. I do think one place that I think you should honestly truly consider Cincinnati.
I 100%, 100%.
I think him in Cincinnati.
Bro, Trey played so well last year, and then you add Miles on the other
Trey
side.
initially played great. Line him up across.
Dude, we're gonna talk about Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack in that light. If you're talking about a tier down, that like right there with them, that's Miles Jack and Trey. They might not be the household names that those two are, but they can definitely give you the production. And that defense played well enough, except for one man. But other than that, they played very well, and that line played very well. You add Miles Jack to that, oh my goodness.
God bless him, man. This is wild, bro.
And they have money too, right? Because they're not paying anybody. Offensively, they pay nobody. In terms of, they don't pay Burrow, they don't play Chase, they don't pay Higgins.
No, a lot of their important pieces are on their rookie deals.
They didn't pay CJ, right? He went to New York.
Yeah, he just went to New York. And then Tyler Boyd, I don't think he's on his rookie deal.
He's on a rookie deal. I think this might be, he has like a 5th year tenure or something like that.
It's like a 5th year tenure, which
yeah. So they pay nobody. So if you're talking about a team that can pay you and you can win, that's Cincinnati.
Damn. God bless them. God bless them. But speaking of free agency, bro, you heard about Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah, I did. I saw the video too.
Yeah, he looks in shape. Really does. Gotta cut his hair though, because I can't take you seriously when your hair is bobbing like my 2-year-old daughter's hair would bob.
Sorry, before 1 second. Tyler Boyd actually has a 4-year, $43 million deal on him.
I knew he wasn't on his rookie contract.
Yeah, 4-year, $43 million.
I told you.
Yeah, you're right. My bad, bro.
I was what?
You were right. You feel good now? Fry's feeling it. He's ready to go.
But yeah, Colin Kaepernick, he wants to come back. I saw some of the videos. I just want to preface this by saying I genuinely, wholeheartedly believe he was blackballed by the NFL. If you disagree in any way, shape, or form, you're either a corporate simp who believes what the NFL tells you, or you just don't like Colin Kaepernick. It's really up to you. Whichever route you want to go ahead. I'm not going to call you racist. I'm not going to say any of that, but those are one of the two roads you got to do. Either you believe Roger Goodell and everything he says, or you just don't like Colin Kaepernick for some unknown reason. So I just want to preface what I'm saying. I believe he was blackballed from the league. I think he should have played in a league where you got Geno Smith getting burned, Gardner Minshew getting burned, Blake Bortles, etc. Yeah. If Jordan Love could stay on an NFL roster and Colin Kaepernick couldn't get a look, that lets you know how it is. However, 5 years removed, that right there is where I have an issue in terms of letting him come back.
Right.
And I'm explaining to you why. And I'm going to say this line I'm on, and I think you and I were on the same page with this. We are questioning Deshaun Watson after missing a year.
Yep.
And this kid is in his prime.
Yep. 100%.
This kid is in his prime, and we're questioning him about 1 year. Colin Kaepernick, who's no longer in his prime. Now, I'm not talking about the prime of his life. I'm talking about the prime in terms of football. He's no longer in his prime. And he missed 5 years. For me, I just don't. That's where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Because do I want to see him back to see if he can play? Sure. But 5 years away, not in your prime, to play very physical, demanding sport, I don't see it, man. Yeah. I really don't.
Yeah, and I think it's also his skill set too, right? What was he? He was such a dynamic player off of the zone read game, and 5 years removed out of your prime. Now you try to run the same thing defenses also now have kind of gotten used to it. When he first deployed it, he was kind of the pioneer of it, right? That San Francisco team, no one knew. It's like they sent coaches back to college to go figure out how to defend this. So now you talk about an era where they're used to the zone read, and you're not the fastest guy on the field anymore. You're not the biggest guy on the field anymore. When you are so physically dominant, now it's like, man, it's like kind of Cam Newton, right? He was so physically dominant, and now you're not that kind of physically dominating guy. And for Cap, it's even a little bit worse because you're out of the league for 5 years. You haven't played. And again, you can work out, but being in football shape is very different from being in good shape. There's a big difference between football shape and good shape. And not saying Cap ain't in it, but I think until you get that first hit, you never really know if you're in football shape or not. And for me, 5 years removed, I think if a team brings him in, it feels more of a PR move than a move to actually go and let him play. And I think that's a sorry reality of the situation.
Right, and that's kind of where it's tough for me to that's where it becomes tough because it's like, are we giving you an opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
Or because again, if they're gonna send him as a backup, fine, whatever, but that's the problem. He doesn't want to be a backup.
And that's the issue. You're gonna have to at least start there. You're not gonna jump in as a starter. There's no way. Again, not even Indy is gonna say you're the starting quarterback. They bring you in, maybe, but you'd have to fight for it. You'd have to be a guy working for a starter. I don't see him jumping into any situation as a starting quarterback. Again, it's 5 years removed. I don't think there's anybody that you'd jump in. Like if Andrew Luck came back to Indy, I don't think they'd make him the starting quarterback right away, just because he hasn't played a lick of football.
It's been too long.
That's it.
Too long.
That's it.
Yeah, and like I said, I was one of the people that during his first year off, I was saying, when he first said, "Yo, I want to come back," I was like, we got to give him a chance. We have to, because at some point we're letting randoms play football at this point, bro. Let's be honest. However, at this point, Colin, if I would just shrug my shoulder to say, you know what, the NFL is no longer in my cards. It's just that's just a reality of the situation, because at some point you need to be able to look at yourself and say, you know what, I wanted to play football. I was able to play it. It's not, I made it to a Super Bowl, what I want to, it is what it is, whatever happened. But you need to be able to let your career rest. At some point, you need to be able, just like when we talk about all these old guys, you know what I mean, where they're kind of, always, I want to come back again and again and again and again, like Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Eventually, you got to know
this is it, man.
Your career's done, whether you want to accept it or not.
Yep.
That's really the reality of the situation. And Damian says, to be fair, we've seen athletes take far more time off and come back and play the same or even a little better. So, but here's the thing. Football is different. You can do that in baseball and get away with it because that's hand-eye reflexes, right? Or hand-eye coordination, right? So you can do that. If you're a pitcher, you can do that and get away with it, right? If you go and play basketball, you can take a couple years off and come back and be rusty. You know what I mean? You can be rusty, come back and be viable. Football's different.
Yeah.
Football's different because you can play until you get hit, and all of a sudden you get hit. Now it's a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
because this is the part of football that people don't really understand, bro. When you get hit, you feel it. You feel it. You don't believe me? Go ask Justin Fields, who, as the rookie, said the game was getting slow, got lit up, and then ever since then was scared to even talk about the game. Hey, how's the game feeling for you now? Oh, I'm still learning. And he's a rookie. Got hit one time, and mind you, was already playing tackle football before this. In college, you play tackle football. Comes to the pros, got hit one time. All of a sudden, the kid didn't want to say the game was slow anymore. In football, in my opinion, I don't think you can take a year, maybe. Once you start getting to 2 years, it's suspicious. 3 or more, just retire.
Yeah, It's just that hit. Again, you can stay in great shape. You can rock it out. You can go to the gym every single day. But unless you're getting hit like that on a regular basis, remember Gronk. Like Gronk is one of the more physically dominating players of our lifetime. He took a year off, went to Tampa, and he said, I had to get in game shape. I didn't even feel good my first couple of weeks in Tampa because I was not in any game shape. I couldn't take a hit. And Gronk is 6'6", 2, huge. You know what I mean? Like
Yo,
that's
he's
Gronk.
a man's man.
Exactly.
He's a man's man.
And he couldn't do it. Again, Colin Kaepernick ever was the more physically dominant. He was the fastest guy on the field. He was faster than everybody. But now you go and take a hit trying to do the same thing you were doing back, 5 years ago. It's a whole different story. It's a whole different ballgame.
110%. And I think that's really the sad part of the situation where I think Colin Kaepernick thinks, oh, yeah, I'll be fine. And it's like, look, everyone says that until you get hit. You know what I mean? Like, everyone is fine until it happens. Like, I told, like when I got my girl pregnant, I was like, yeah, I'll be fine until, 2 months in, my dumbass forgot to put a pamper on my kid and put her to bed. Like, that's a real life story, by the way. Like, I dead ass forgot to put a pamper on her, and I had her in a onesie and everything, and I was just so tired, I forgot to put a pamper on her, and I just buckled up her onesie and I put her down. I didn't realize I didn't have a pamper on until my girl got home, and she was like, "Why is she wet?" I was like, "What?" And then we unbuckled her onesie. She was knocked out, by the way. We undid her onesie and there was no pamper. So, yeah, that's how it be, bro. Listen, you say you can handle it until it's on your plate, and all of a sudden you're like, oops. You're like, oopski spaghettios, because you know what I mean? Like, honestly, I think, you know what I think we should honestly do? Give him an opportunity. Give him a game. Because I said the same thing about Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
Conor McGregor, I don't know, Amon, if you watch the UFC, but Conor McGregor wants a title shot. And I say, you know what? Give it to him. I really believe we should give it to him. Because if Conor loses to a low-tier guy, he's not going to accept it.
Right.
You need to give him Charles Oliveira and have Charles Oliveira make him tap in less than a round for it to sink in Conor's head. Damn, I ain't that guy no more.
Right.
And that's kind of, I think at some point you need to give Colin Kaepernick that opportunity to learn and understand, I keep saying I want to be in the NFL. Put me in the NFL, all of a sudden I take that hit, and all of a sudden I take a breath and my ribs don't feel good. You know what I mean? All of a sudden I'm limping off to the sideline. Maybe that's what he needs. Or he comes back and it's a possibility he just
balls out,
lights it up. Who knows? Only God knows. Right. But I understand it, Colin. You want to come back. I get it. But 5 years?
And I think it's going to be hard for teams to. I remember how long ago this was, but he had a tryout, right? There's going to be a Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He had a tryout. And then like 30 minutes before, he says, "Oh, I'm changing it to a place 25 minutes away."
The league tried to.
Was that? I remember that story came out, and I was like, "That." I think that rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah, it was, and like 2 days later, it came out that like for that they wanted him to sign some papers.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was like a whole thing. So basically, what they were trying to do was be like, "We'll give you the opportunity. Now shut up."
Right. Yeah.
That's what it was. So he was like, hold on, timeout.
Right.
That's not how it works here. Like, you guys are giving me an opportunity. How are you going to give me this opportunity? And then on top of that, tell me to shut up. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Right.
People are like, oh, yeah, he had an opportunity. And it's like, did he really, though?
Right.
Like, did he really, though? If you're ready for that conversation, we can sit down. Until then, I don't know what to tell you. But like I said, man, like Amon, I said in the beginning, bro.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson took a year off, and we're questioning his cardio, and he's in his prime. And Colin Kaepernick's no longer in his prime, and he took 5 years off. 100%. That right there, to me, is where it gets way too sticky. That right there is where, for me, it's like in the beginning they blackballed you. I don't care what no one says. Now, it's just. The NFL chapter in the book that is your life, it's over.
Yeah.
It's just over. And it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's a pill that's got to be swallowed nonetheless because, dude, like, Well, again, 5 years.
Long
We're questioning
time,
Sean Watson in his prime after 1 year. Been 5 since we've seen Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, it's
And here to give it the best of the best, and he decided to play again, John. When he got there, they wanted him to the entire every time he was talking about the NFL, they were basically trying to make him sign papers that would tell him to shut up. That's why he relocated it. That's why he was like, no. I'm just saying, man, look, if you believe the NFL did that out of the goodness of their heart, I'm not trying to be rude or nothing, but if you believe the NFL did that from the goodness of their heart, no. That's all I'm saying. Amon, I want to have a conversation with you about basketball.
let's do it.
I want to have a conversation, but before we do that, let me just roll a quick commercial break.
Get ready. This summer, the Arena League Sports is on ASAP Network. Tune in live on either the Tiki Live or Roku app, as well as your smart home TV.
I'm not talking about the Lakers, goddammit. I'm not.
We talk about good teams.
Yeah. So, Karl Anthony Towns. I think Jimmy Butler signed a one day contract to be on the Timberwolves, and I think he called him a bitch. Because Karl Anthony Towns was an angry boy. All right, he was an angry boy. He dropped 60 for no reason whatsoever. And then on top of that, added 17 boards. Why not? I believe by the way, John, we're gonna talk about this. Trust me, baby, we're gonna talk about this. So I'm so glad it's just me and you. I'm so glad, man. I'm so glad, bro. But before we get into that, Karl Anthony Towns just dominated. He scored 60 points, which is the most amount of points scored by a player this year. So he's got that. Nabbed 17 boards. And it took all that to beat the Spurs 149 to 139. Which, again, bless his heart. God bless his heart. And another one, Iverson. I promise you that's something else we're going to talk about. I promise, because I saw that earlier. And then he tweeted something afterwards, too. He tweeted something that he actually deleted, which Draymond deleting a tweet, I don't know. That doesn't sound right. I always feel like he doesn't do that stuff. But so Karl Anthony Towns, Amon. Oh, great. It's Freddie. Hello, Mr. Fredward. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Mon, what's going on, my brother? How you doing? I'm just happy to see Mon. I haven't seen him in a while.
Right?
Yeah, hey, Mon bring great spirits to any show that he's on. So I'm just happy to see the guy. Pride, I'm happy to see you.
There it is. yo. So John wants me to have this comment specifically up for you. And just in case you don't believe me, this is what he told me. So this time I'm innocent. I'm innocent this time. I don't want to get caught in the crossfire.
John, I see you. Hey, John, much love to you. Appreciate you watching all of our shows. But why be petty on this Tuesday morning? Why?
Bro, I was bouncing between the Lakers game because I honestly wanted to see Spicy P because I have him on my fantasy. I was like, I hope he drops 30, so I wanted to watch it. He didn't give me 30, but bless his heart anyway. Still had a respectable game.
Did you have Russ on your team?
Nice try. I'm trying to win, baby. Nice try. It is crazy because earlier this year, someone tried to trade me for Russ for CP3. I was like, boy, what the hell? I should slap you for the disrespect. But Freddie, I'm glad you're here because this is a question I'm about to pose to Amon, and obviously, since you're here, feel free to answer. But I want to start with Amon. Karl Anthony Towns, 60 and 70, and on top of all of that, Freddie, don't shake your head just yet. I promise I'll give you the opportunity. Just give me. Let me talk with Amon first. Let me talk to my guy. But on top of all that, he is leading this Minnesota Timberwolves team to the 7th seed. And they're a game and a half back from the 6th seed. So, by the way, Tony, I get it. 100%. I think Russ definitely should be Defensive Player of the Year. But Amon,
better yet, Russ is out there creating a whole new sport out there. He's trying to see if he shoot the ball, if he hit the side of the goal. It's not about the net anymore.
People will argue it's more impressive to the side of the backboard.
Yo, he's funny, dude. He's a funny dude. But Amon, Karl Anthony Towns, at this point, you have to call him a de facto top 3 center in the league, right?
100%. I don't know who you put above him. Again, you're going to talk about Joel Embiid, you're going to talk about Nikola Jokic, and you talk about Karl Anthony Towns all in the same breath. I don't know if you want to put Rudy Gobert up there, you do you, my guy. If you want to put Bam Adebayo up there, you do you. You know, I mean, like you do what you got to do, bro. But the top 3 centers in the NBA are Nikola Jokic, it's Joel Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns. And you know what? The argument can be made when it comes postseason time. I know Karl doesn't do anything, Joel doesn't do anything, but they do pretty similar things. So, and Joel has a little bit more talent around him in the playoffs. So that could be an argument you can have for another day. But top 3 centers in the NBA. And I know Freddie's going to say, Anthony Davis wanted to play power forward. So I don't know if we can have that conversation either. So I'll put Nikola, Joel, and Karl Anthony Towns are my top.
Woo!
Now, question: are we talking about this year or when? Or
this year, last year, next year, any year, no year? I don't care.
No, he's not top 3.
You're out of here. So okay. So let me pose you this question: who is your top 3?
You have Nikola Jokic, the Joker.
Okay.
Joel Embiid.
Okay.
And I got King James. LeBron had played center a lot this year, you guys. I mean, are we going to really do this? I mean, that's why I asked, are we talking about this year? Because this year, Bron has.
No.
When he scored 50, what position was he? He was the center.
I understand that. But let's not act like LeBron's playing every game at center.
No.
So again, how can you put? And again,
okay, so we're not talking about that. Then
I'm a LeBron James stan. Right now. I got a dick pic of Bron on my phone. That's how deep I am with Bron right now. But there's no way you're gonna sit there and tell me with a straight face you time Bron's center, a top 3 center. No way.
I'm just saying.
No.
Where are we? I mean, he played over 40 games at center this year.
Okay, and how many has Towns played? Oh, his entire career.
I mean, I understand that. Okay, I mean, you want to count out LeBron? Karl Anthony Towns is top 3. But I will say this: I'm very happy for him because I believe after Jimmy Butler left, that kind of was a bad rep around him. You know, nobody really, everybody knew the guy was talented. But, hey, Tony, I keep it real, bro. I keep it real. I mean, my whole thing was with that, Tony, if you want to throw that out there, I said, I've never knocked LeBron on his game because he's a great player. But if you don't want to be in L.A., you can leave. I still stay by it. If you don't want to be in L.A., you can leave. That goes for anybody. But, I mean, we love to have you, but, you can't have those mindsets. But, like I was saying, Karl Anthony Towns is changing the way people think of him. People thought of him being soft-minded because of Jimmy Butler. But the run that he's having this year, the way that team is over exceeding expectations is changing everybody's mindset about him, and I love it.
By the way, somebody asked about DeAndre Ayton. I will fight everybody to my dying breath. That's my number 4.
Yeah.
Easily.
Not mine. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, come on, bro. Easily. Come on.
The only reason I said Rudy and Bam was so I could make the joke afterwards. So I could make the joke for DeAndre.
So we're going to forget about Bam, what Bam has done for the game?
I forgot about him. I ignored him. I turned my back on him. Whatever you want to call it. We need to stop with this myth that Bam Adebayo is a center. We need to stop this myth. He's like Draymond. He's a power forward.
He played a 5 though.
No, because every time you put him against a center, he gets cooked. I've seen Rudy Gobert, who has no post game, cooking him.
Okay, what about Anthony Davis? Mine said this. Oh, he played power forward, but when he played this year, he maybe played power forward a few times. Most of this year, he played center.
But he don't want to play center. He come out and say, "I want to."
It don't matter if he don't want to, but he's still playing.
But I parlayed it with the fact that when you put him on a center, he gets cooked.
Who?
Bam.
We're talking about AD. You're talking about AD.
No. Because you said Bam Adebayo. You said, did we forget about Bam Adebayo? I'm still on that. If we can talk about AD in a minute, I'm still on that. Because ain't no way you're gonna sit here and tell me Bam Adebayo is supposedly that like a top.
I think Jonathan is a better center than DeAndre Ayton.
You're out of your mind.
I think Chris Paul make DA look better than what he is.
You're out of your mind. You said what?
I believe Chris Paul make DeAndre Ayton look better than what he is.
But I don't think so. I do. But you're wrong because he's going on a phenomenal streak. Chris Paul's hurt.
Everybody have a wet dream every once in a while, bro.
Like, come on, bro. Do better. Ron, talk to Freddie.
Good morning, Ron.
Talk to Freddie. Ron, hold on. Matter of fact, Ron, this will determine our relationship.
Already.
DeAndre Ayton is a top 5 center, right?
Ooh, sure.
Whoa. Hold on now. Hold on. I don't like how you said sure.
Because I didn't know if that was the point. We might have to take time to analyze that.
What you mean take time to analyze it? Matter of fact, Ron, I'm gonna give you my top 4 centers. I'm gonna give you my top 4 centers. I was gonna
say we know who 1 and 2 is. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's in this order. It is in this order. Okay. Nikola Jokic, who I believe is the best player in the NBA. At me. I don't give a shit. Okay. That's 1. 2, Joel Embiid. Okay. Now, if you want to switch Joel Embiid and Jokic, whatever, I'm not going to argue about you like that. All I know is that in my world, they're like the tight ends. They're like George Kittle and Travis Kelce. They're 1A and 1B. You can flip them however you want. That's 1 and 2. 3, Karl Anthony Towns. Okay. Then there's a little bit of a gap, right? Then 4, DeAndre Ayton. I'm talking Freddie. Hold on, Freddie. I'm talking to Ron. Thank you. Last time I checked, there was no N in your name. So, as I was saying. Then number 4 is DeAndre Ayton. Then there's a massive gap. A exponential gap. A large gap. And the gap I'm going to compare it to a prime LeBron James. The skill gap between a prime LeBron James and a today Kyle Lowry. That's the gap I'm talking about. You want more? Hey, I'll do you one better. A prime LeBron James against a Mario Chalmers of today. Oh, you don't believe me? I'll do you one more.
If this is all true,
this is 100%.
How come Phoenix didn't feel the same way and give your boy his max contract?
Is that my problem though? Is that my problem?
So are we going to forget about guys like Jerkic, whatever you say his name, Nurkic? It's a good solid big. Are we going to really put him against Jared Allen? Hold on. Big down there in Cleveland that don't have to depend on a Chris Paul. Are we going to do them big? Like a Jonas, Valanciunas. A big solid big that's an offensive threat and defensive threat. Are we really going to do that over guys like that?
And I'm gonna tell you why I'm forget about.
I still not saying he's better than Anthony Davis.
And I'm
Anthony Davis. Let's not forget. People forget that last year AD gave him 40. People forget that. That man gave him 40.
Don't get it twisted. I'm not going. Listen. Don't get it twisted. We're gonna talk about Anthony Davis in a minute. Don't get it twisted.
I'm talking about him now.
We're gonna talk about him in a minute. But before we get to it, I just want to knock off some of the names you said. You said Nurkic. You said Jared Allen. And you said Jonas Valanciunas, right?
Yeah.
Notice what you said about all 3 of them. There was one word you said, solid. Never in my life have I ever heard solid ever heard say, oh yeah, there's a solid dude in the top 5.
So we're going to see DeAndre Ayton's great. I'm not ready to say.
Is he 4? Yeah, he's great. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't even know how Freddie got to those names. Are we putting him above Rudy?
Easy. Easy.
It's not that easy, Pride.
Listen.
What
If Rudy's here,
I'm
gonna listen. That's how easy it is for me. That's how easy it is for me.
I mean,
it's not even close.
Your guy definitely has been above expectations with CP3 and Bookout these past couple of weeks, but that's really all he has on his resume so far.
What you mean all he has on his resume? He's been solid ever since he came in the league. Are we gonna pretend like he was a bomber?
Pride. You're talking to the guy who's given Joel Embiid the first half of the season MVP like 5 years in a row. So just don't waste your time, bro. Don't waste your time.
You're right.
Hey, but if it ended in the first half of the season, oh yeah.
Damn, Ron, you're getting exposed right now, big homie.
Man, how you gonna do that to me after the Sixers got handled last night by Joker? I can't do nothing but shut up. I can't do nothing but shut up right now. But at least my squad lost to a championship team and not, like the Sacramento Kings or anything.
What championship they got? You lost to a 6-foot white man from Siberia. That's what you did. Ain't nobody else on that team.
If you gonna refer to him correctly. What is he? 6. I don't care. I'll call him 7. I don't care. The best center in the league. That's how you refer to him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That bad boy.
100%.
I'm even putting Vooch over him, bro.
You're out of here. Okay, look.
Bro, Mike is a Chicago Bulls fan. If he says nah, then you might have a.
I'm just saying, like, bro, like Vooch has done way more since he's been in the game since 80.
No, he hasn't.
Let's not sit up here and just get caught up in the moment.
No, he hasn't.
No.
What has Vooch done? What has Vooch done?
You talking about a guy who can score on all 3 levels.
I love DeAndre Ayton.
I think right now he's the 4th best center in the league, and the gap between 4th and 5th is extensive.
It is top 3?
Jokic 1,
okay,
and then Embiid 2, okay, and then I got Karl-Anthony Towns at 3.
You're a king. There's nothing wrong with that.
Thank you. That's what, and I think we all agree on the top 3. I think Freddie, he tried to give a little bit of push saying LeBron James was a better center than Karl-Anthony Towns, but I think he was saying that to trigger somebody. That's I think that was a troll.
I love that personally.
Right? You don't think?
My bad, Ron. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna say you don't think Draymond's better than Ayton either.
No,
that's why.
As a center, no, and not as a center.
As an overall,
No, if we're talking about overall, then I like what Draymond brings, but I'm talking about as a center.
Isn't that what we're talking about here?
No, because now we're talking positions.
That would make Draymond a better center than DeAndre.
Here's the thing about Draymond. When Draymond plays the center position, all he does is box out the big man, and a real big man like Wiggins or somebody else goes and gets the rebound. Draymond's not out here out-rebounding people. He's not out here scoring. He averages 7 points a game. He's a great facilitator and a great defender. But other than that, Ayton has him by a mile at the actual position.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual position.
Pride, I decided to look up NBA center PER numbers because, PER is king in the NBA. Joker, of course, is number 1, Embiid 2, Gobert 3. Your boy is not at number 4. That's Cat. JaVale McGee, a center on his own team, is higher than him in PER. How far do you think I got to go down this list to get to your boy? He ain't in the top 10. He's number 11. And there's another center on his own team that has a better PER than him. I think that says a lot.
No, it doesn't.
I think that's also one statistic that you singled out.
Exactly. That says nothing. Because if you want to build JaVale McGee, let me ask you. Hold on. Because I like what JaVale McGee brings to that team. So, but now I feel bad because now I have to poop on him. Who averages more points? Who averages more rebounds? Who averages more assists?
Who plays 20 more minutes?
Who starts?
Oh, and Freddie, we forgot about Bam. He's definitely not better than Bam.
I mentioned Bam. I mentioned him.
I said it before, and I mean this with all due disrespect. Bam Adebayo does not deserve to be in the conversation because every time you put him with a center, guess what? He gets cooked. Rudy Gobert got no post game, and he out here hanging 25-30 on his ball head. Stop playing, man.
That's so
playing, bro.
disrespectful.
Stop playing.
But this is the same DeAndre Ayton that got embarrassed in the finals last year as well.
Okay, that's fine. If you want to say he got
That
embarrassed, how many
Phoenix
times
had to
Bam on the
call for
Bible
help
been
because
embarrassed?
they thought he could be the answer to slow down Giannis, but
No
And
one
he
thought
was
that.
foul trouble.
No one thought that.
He didn't play
yes,
bad.
everybody's
down.
talking about Phoenix need
So-
more size because
so let
he
me
can't
get
guard
this
him.
straight.
Because
Let me
they
get this
lost
straight.
Dario Saric, who would have been their size.
And then
And
this
they
is the
also
same
ain't
guy that
valid.
let Anthony Davis drop 40 on him as well.
And that's
Oh, yeah,
fine.
but
That's
how
fine. But
that
what
turn
is
out?
your point?
Like they won the game, by the way. That's how that.
But
turned
what
out.
is your point, though, Freddie? What is your point?
I'm just saying that I'll put AD over him. I'll put Bam over him. I
won't.
mean,
I'm not putting AD on him.
you
I'm not
say that,
putting
but
AD
hey,
over him. I can't. Not as a center. I'm sorry. I can't.
He doesn't even play fucking center.
He
yes,
doesn't
you
play.
do. Go
He
look,
doesn't even play. What are we talking
please
about?
look up the
He
numbers.
don't want to
Please.
play big,
Ron, I'm
bro.
tired of this narrative. Ron, please look up the numbers. How many games this year Anthony Davis plays center?
It's
I
probably like
guarantee you-
50-50.
Hey, Pride, do
Freddie,
me another
Freddie, he
favor.
can't
While
survive
Ron's
at center.
doing
That's the
that,
issue.
look up how many games Anthony Davis has actually fucking played because I haven't seen him all year. So
But
You can't
I'm
survive at
talking about
center.
the
That's the
games that he
issue
played.
with
The
Anthony
most of the
Davis.
games he played, he was at the center position.
But then he can't play most of the games because he played it the most of the games at center position. Most of the games in the NBA he can't
Let me
play
ask you
because he
something. Let me
played
ask
at
you
the
something.
center
When he
position.
played, he was starting at the center
But
position.
last time I
But
checked,
He
it was a
can.
while.
that's
But-
the issue. His body can't take playing
Yeah,
at the
but
center
last
position.
time, which by the way, in this conversation should factor, but I guess it doesn't. Last time I checked, it was like 50-50. Last time I checked.
Yep.
I'm talking about in terms of starting, like
no,
and again, granted,
that's
it
the
was a
last
while
time he
ago.
checked. He played way more games at center
He
than
played
he
way
did
more.
last
Matter of
year.
fact, let me look it up so that way I can actually give you like the numbers. How many games?
he
has-
don't want to play center.
He might don't want to play it, but he played him most of the time. I mean,
You know, it's
when
like-
you come in a
like you saying
conversation,
LeBron
it's
James
not about
is-
he don't want to play it, but he's still playing it. So
But
that's
he can't.
delete
No, but he
that
can't.
take.
He can't.
He might can't, but he do. But
What
even
happens
though-
every time he
Hold
does?
on. No. But Freddie, he can't. And this is not saying that he's a scrub.
the prime.
His body can't handle it.
Even with all that, he still played better to the center position than DeAndre Ayton.
How do you
He's
play
still
better
averaging
playing 37
24
games?
points. He was still averaging 24 points, a block and a half of the game, and still, that's DeAndre Ayton not giving you that.
37 games. If that's not a factor, you Freddie, I don't know what to tell you.
But how many
That's
games
gotta
have you
be-
missed this
that's
year
a
too, Pride?
factor.
How many games have you missed this year? About what? 50?
Who?
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis only played like 37 games.
Huh?
Anthony Davis only played 37 games.
That's what I'm saying. Out of those 37 games, I guarantee you about 25 of them, 25, almost 30, he played at the center position this year.
So he's at 25-30?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. Hold on. I'm still trying to find it right quick. I'm still trying to find it. There's nothing they say that kind of
Everybody's searching. Where's that guy when you need him?
I know, man.
they don't no, bro. They don't really split it. Like they'll label him as like a forward/center, yeah, but they don't really tell you how many games he's,
But at the end of the day, I know we've seen Giannis put 50 on him. We've seen him dominate him in that final.
We've seen him do the same thing to Jokic. We've seen him do the same thing to Embiid and
I've
Davis.
never seen Joker put up 50 against none of those. I mean,
No,
I've
Giannis
never
put up-
seen DA put 50
Bro,
against
hold
Joker.
on.
or Embiid.
You
what you're
just said
saying?
Giannis. You just said Giannis, right?
Oh, okay. I thought you was talking about DA. I'm about to say he's never done
I
that.
know. If you want to talk about Vucevic, he bodied AD both times we played the Lakers this year. But that's just a conversation for a different day, I
And that's
guess.
why I got him over
And
DeAndre Ayton.
Freddie, to your little point, Pride, you're right. I don't know what it is, but they don't want us to find out that answer. But Anthony Davis has played 601 games. Probably it would be like 800, but he's
I'm
made
not
it
talking about his
flat.
career. I'm talking about
He's
this
played
year.
131 at center.
I'm
That's
talking
not
about
even
this
half.
year. I'm not talking about his career.
Freddie's talking about this year.
This
I'm
year.
just saying all of his career, that's not even 20%.
No, we agree. I agree. I'm just talking about this year. I mean, I'm not talking about. We're not talking about the career.
We're not talking about everything to factor it in like that matters, like PER.
No, we're not talking. This topic is not about career. It's about this year alone. So that.
Okay, so if we're talking this year alone, then Anthony Davis definitely is disqualified.
So what we're saying is the game that he played at the center position, averaging 24, 9 to 10 rebounds.
Yeah, those 5 games, right?
It's better than DeAndre's Ayton with 15, 16,
So
18
a small
games.
sample size is better than the guy who's been there all year, been consistent, been great, and is able to share the ball with CP3 and Devin Booker instead of being selfish like Anthony Davis.
I'm not going to say share, but he needs those guys to be successful. So
I think they hold him back.
I don't know about holding him.
How many points is DeAndre Ayton averaging if he's the only person on that Suns team?
How is DeAndre Ayton not leading his team in rebounds?
You said what?
What'd you say, Ron? Say it again. Say it loud for the back and put in the back real quick.
How is DeAndre not leading his team in rebounds?
What's the point? Hold on. Wait, hold on. What's the point? What's the point are you trying to imply?
That he should at least be able to get 10 rebounds a game for the Phoenix Suns.
And again, this now shows why you don't know what you're talking about because he's averaging a double-double.
I'm pretty sure I'm looking at team.
And you're looking at it wrong.
Come on, Ron. You don't make me look some shit up just to find out he's averaging 10 rebounds a game.
What are we doing?
Let me ask you something, Ron. So right here, as of today, averaging 10 rebounds a game. JaVale McGee averages 6. So what are you trying to say?
Yeah, he's averaging 16.
And you know what? Ron, I know what's
Ron, are you just talking to talk?
I'm blaming. No. We're not doing this because I'm blaming ESPN. Is right there. JaVale McGee is leading the team. I don't know why they did it like that.
Yeah, well, update your phone, big dog, because that had to have been like 5 weeks ago.
That was never.
Well, next question. How isn't DeAndre Ayton averaging at least 11 rebounds a game? It's unacceptable.
Yo, see now.
No. But also,
Roger's trying to stir the pot today. He's turning it around.
According to your logic, DeAndre Ayton should be at least on the 3rd team All-NBA this year. If he's the top 4 center, he should be on the All-NBA team.
How many centers are on
hold on, but let's be honest. All NBA teams aren't really. They're positionless. Let's remember now. What was it like a few years back? They had. Well, it was like Kawhi was on it. Braun.
They had every forward in the world.
Every forward in the world, 1 through. And I think the only forward was Dame. I think it was.
Okay.
Or there was like one guard who and then everyone else 2 through 5 was a forward.
Okay. Next question. Was he an All-Star this year?
Was he? No, he wasn't.
Oh, next question. Has he won like a most improved player?
No, because he's never been that bad.
Yeah, that's really...
So don't throw a most improved player.
Okay, next question. Does he have any accolades?
You said what?
I said next question. Does he have any accolades?
He's done something your center hasn't been able to do.
Did he help the Phoenix Suns slow down Giannis?
Mike, let him finish. Go ahead, Ron.
Did he help the Suns slow down Giannis?
No, he got into foul trouble.
That's crazy to me, though. That's crazy to me, though, that we sit here. Here's what's funny. If it was Giannis Antetokounmpo versus Anthony Davis, that's an MVP. That's a defensive player of the year. That's the best player in the league. But you pick and choose your battles, and now it's, it's just Giannis. The fuck do you mean it's just Giannis? This is like a 20-year-old kid going up against a guy who's been in the league since 2012, who just won back-to-back MVPs, who won back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years. He's a dog, and he annihilated everybody he played against. I don't care who it was. And the realest shit about all of it, what's Joel Embiid done?
Mike,
Ryan just trying to stir the pot.
Let's not forget, Mike, that he let Glass, the person who can't stay healthy, drop 40 on the minute as well, by the way.
That's cool. Guess what happened right after? Glass broke. So that's what happens.
Glass still busted that behind.
Oh, wow.
He couldn't guard him.
No, but here's the thing that he tries to do. I understand you call him Glass, but Glass is dangerous because it can still cut you. So don't make it seem like AD was again. I like AD, but again, the reason why in terms of center he's got to get disqualified. Come on, bro. The dude changes. You know what I mean? He puts on his headband, and all of a sudden he's got a concussion. Let's be honest. Put on his jersey, he's got cracked ribs.
Nah, but pride. I just want to see where Ron's coming from.
Something, bro. So it's got to disqualify him. Now next year, if he's healthy, then we got a whole different conversation.
No, it's not.
I mean, look, healthy. I love me some AD.
I do too. If he has
AD.
one healthy season and 7 bad ones, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, the narrative's changed. He's never gonna get hurt again. You're probably gonna like. I love D Rose. Where's he at right now? He's hurt again, and that's just what it is. And you have to understand it as such. But Ron, I'm gonna ask you: Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, JJ Redick, Tobias Harris, and a great bench. What'd your boy do? He got dogged by Kawhi, right? He got dogged by Kawhi on probably the randomest shot I've ever seen in my life.
And he traveled too, by the way.
Did he really though?
I mean, we went down in
He
7.
did? I haven't like every time I watch that shot, I never watch his feet. I just always watch the ball. So if he did, I don't know. But
he did a little James Harden.
I don't think we need to look at that run as a disappointment, Mike. That was a success.
How?
We won 7 games with the NBA champions. If we would have
that
shot goes the other way,
that is horrible. That is horrible. So by your logic, last year when the Celtics, we lost to Brooklyn, that was a success. We lost to 5 in Brooklyn. It was a success because we went on like that team ended up losing to the team that was the NBA champion. So our season was a success. No,
like a success to me is literally Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. The fact that he actually kept it in with LeBron James, with Anthony Davis by himself, that's a success. You couldn't beat Kawhi, dog?
Well, they did get beat by a lucky bounce in the travel yet again. I mean, let's not factor that part in there.
And 4 other games that Kawhi won, right?
I was about to say, I don't.
We're going to act like the Raptors isn't a nasty squad. Van Vliet, Lowry.
Would they have won that championship if KD and
Were the Bucks a nasty
wasn't
squad when they
just-
beat Phoenix?
it
Were
wasn't
the Bucks
just
a nasty
squad.
squad when they beat Phoenix, Ron? Or
What's
no?
that?
The Bucks were in a nasty squad when they beat Phoenix, or that's not what that happened, or
They were, but Pride is saying
all right, cool.
that
Okay, so then if
DeAndre
you lost
is
him, it doesn't
the
matter then.
4th best. You're saying he's the 4th best center in the NBA, and I'm saying, what did he do against Giannis? I feel like at least the Eiffel Tower.
who is not a center? Who's not a center, right?
I'm not even going to go that route. Who's not even a center? I'm not even going to go that route because let's be honest. Giannis is a top 5 player in the league, right? He's a top 5 player in the league.
Number 2.
Like, Ron, you're implying that Giannis only cooks DeAndre Ayton. He cooks DeAndre Ayton. I've seen him cook Jokic. I've seen him put pause on Embiid. I've seen him I made him see Bam Adebayo look like a guard. I've seen him make Rudy Gobert almost fake Corona again so he doesn't have to talk to anybody.
Fucking hate Rudy Gobert.
So I get what you're saying about what he did on DeAndre Ayton, but have you seen what he does to everybody else? What he did to Ayton was like par for the course for this kid. Because he does that to everybody. As much as I love him, I've seen him do it to Braun. I've seen him do it to AD. I've seen him do it to Jason Tatum.
Mike,
I've seen him do it to Robert Williams III.
I hope you're listening because Kawhi, I've seen him cook LeBron. I've seen him cook KD. I've seen Kawhi cook the 73-16 Warriors. I've seen him cook the Warriors with KD. I've seen Kawhi. So don't be talking about Kawhi cooking the Sixers, right?
Who had a better team? Who had a better team?
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. 1 and 2.
That's exactly what you just did, bro.
It really was Kawhi or bust. It really was. That Raptors team was Kawhi or bust. They did everything through Kawhi.
Then they had a squad
a specific
like
player
Ron said.
crying on his way out.
Freddie, did they really though?
Yes.
Saul, Ibaka was
ICP, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry. I mean, Danny Green.
You're saying all that, and meanwhile, this is the same team that's still in the play-in.
Same guy who called Danny Green the worst shooter ever. But
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, he was that year.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying
that roster's not together still.
that year, Danny Green. I don't know.
Look, all I'm saying, man, is like it was Kawhi or bust. Period. That was their game plan.
yeah, they knew Kawhi was gone.
No, but that was their game plan. Nick Nurse and Masai Ujiri came out and said it. Oh yeah, we're going through Kawhi because they wanted to keep Kawhi. So that was their game plan.
Well, I mean, that's smart. I mean, I would have done the same thing.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like it was.
You always go to your best player. So Pride. I mean, you know that.
You said what?
When it comes to crunch time, you always go to your best player. I mean, that's just the smart thing to do.
Right. Well, no, it wasn't even just crunch time. It was just all the time. Like
okay, what's wrong with that? Every team LeBron played for, they go through LeBron. Golden State go through Steph Curry.
I
They go
think you
through
have a
Giannis.
serious
So where are we going with this?
You have a
So
serious
then,
comprehension
so
issue.
then why was Jimmy Butler the one everybody was going through and not Joel Embiid?
Thank you. That's my point. That's my point.
At that
I'm not
time,
saying it's a
Jimmy
bad
Butler
thing.
was the best player in the Philadelphia 76ers at that
I
time.
don't know, man. But Freddie, what you just said, you always go through your best player, right?
Yeah. Jimmy Butler was the best player.
I agree.
Check. It's over. Done. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
All
You know,
And who's their best player right now?
Jimmy Butler was not the best player in the team.
No.
And who's their best player right now?
I would say Joel Embiid.
Smoking.
back to Jimmy Butler was not the best player. He was not.
Jimmy,
And Ron knows. Hold on, Ron knows this. But for the sake of this argument, he doesn't want to admit it. Joel Embiid was their best player. He was the best player before. He was the best player during. He was their best player after.
He just
I
didn't play.
wanted the ball in Jimmy's hands.
And clutch time, sure. If you want to say Jimmy Butler's more clutch, sure. I'm not going to argue there. But the best player on your team,
but Pride, and he's the best player in the team that had more experience in the playoffs. So you want the balls and the guy with the experience.
What experience?
But first it was the best player.
No. What experience in Chicago did Jimmy Butler gain?
They went to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, cool.
Not because of him though.
So what experience?
They went to the playoffs though.
So when he was sitting on the bench with Derrick Rose starting.
Guess what?
Or how about this? When Dwayne Wade and Rajon Rondo thought it was 2012 and that they could do something with Jimmy Butler and they got their ass busted by the Celtics. And they got their ass
busted. It was in that moment. It's just, I'm gonna give you an example. Alex Caruso was not the main reason why the Lakers won the championship. But guess what? Now that he's in Chicago, guess what? Chicago has championship experience going through Alex Caruso.
No, and Mike, let me hop in. Let me hop in with that.
He's been in that situation.
No. See where you messed up. This is where you messed up. When Jimmy Butler, the first two playoff runs, he literally was a bench player. He was on the and Mike knows this. He was on the verge of being cut. The only reason he wasn't cut was because injuries opened the door for him to start and end up getting more time and then starting. So you can't give him credit. Was Alex Caruso the main reason? No, he was not. But he was an important cog. I don't care what you say. He still wasn't. He wasn't the big cog, but he was one of those little cogs that you still need. Jimmy Butler wasn't even that. But he was the scrap part that was in a box on the other side of the warehouse.
Though he still have that experience. He can say, "Okay, I've seen a team be in the same position. I was in the locker room. I was in the huddle. Hey,
doing nothing.
He still got that experience.
Doing nothing.
What are you going to tell everybody to do? Sit down and grab some bench?
No, he gonna
let the big guys handle it.
No, he gonna say, "Hey, I remember when D Wade did this. I remember when Rajon Rondo did this. We need to do it this way."
They didn't do a single thing.
Well, I agree, but still, he got that experience.
What are you gonna do? All right. Well, I remember
Jordan Love got experience, bro.
I remember when Rondo shot for three.
Jimmy Garoppolo got Super Bowl experience, bro. Jimmy Garoppolo championship experience. You know, Brian Hoyer, he's got experience.
Adam Schefter,
Mark Sanchez type experience. I guess.
That's what I was saying.
We got some breaking news from Adam Schefter. The Falcons have emerged as a sleeper team to acquire Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. The Falcons joined the Panthers, Saints, and the Browns as teams that have met with or are interested in trading for Watson. It's more to come. So,
and they just love criminal QBs, but hey, it's neither here nor there. It's cool with me.
Nah, bro. Stop worrying about QBs that come defend AD, bro, because this bozo out here can't even play for nothing. You got the nerve talking about he a top 5 center.
I just know DeAndre Ayton's leading the league in field goal percentage and rebounds, but he's a horrible center. He's horrible. It's okay. That's okay. PER is everything, though. You right. You spitting.
Yo, Mike, PER means everything until it doesn't.
Yeah, no, facts. But then if we talk about PER with Anthony Davis, it's like, nah. But the 5 games he played, my fault. I forgot.
Matty Ice and Indy, I low-key would like that. I would. It would give Matt Ryan his last.
Matt Ryan gets so disrespected, bro. He's in a horrible situation. I feel like that kid still got something left. Not too much. Nothing like MVP, top 5, top 10.
It'd be like Phillip Rivers going to Indy kind of deal. It's like you got
I think he's got a little bit more, though.
Better.
a little bit. It's similar. It's the same boat. It's not like Brady going to Tampa, but
it's a forgotten child kind of thing. I don't
Freddie,
know.
I got a question. Do you think it's a little bizarre how you could be on the court with talents like Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Peyton? They got so many shooters in Phoenix and only average 1.4 assists as the center.
You got Crowder. You got old Shamit down there as well.
Hold on,
Freddie, I swear you or I could be the center and get at least 2 assists a game.
At least 2.
And funny part, you guys would. If you got no point guard. You got the best point. You got arguably one of the best point guards of all time in Chris Paul. Then you have Devin Booker, who's starting to learn from under him.
Cam Johnson.
He cleaning up. He a cleanup dude.
You know, and Pride, it's cool though. Everybody on the Lakers,
because he gets a couple. He averages about 2 offensive boards a game. And guess what he does? If you watch a Phoenix Suns game, you'll know what he does. What does he do? He goes up with it. And it's funny because guess what? And ready to the funny part, Mike. Because right now he's averaging right now as everything currently stands, he's averaging almost 16.9, right? If that went down to 15 and his assists went up to 3, guess what? Why is he trying to distribute the ball? He's a center. He should be going up. He should be getting more points. What it is with DeAndre Ayton.
I just think it's funny that in every single year of Joel Embiid's career, which, by the way, Ron, if you have a phone, I have one too, he's never averaged more than 4 assists in a season, ever. And you know what? In that 2018 season, he only had 3. Last year, he had 2.
What are they,
bro?
Because he's been playing with Ben Simmons.
Oh, okay. So then
he don't got nobody to shoot. He got one person, that's Seth, and he's running figure 8.
No. But he could just cut because he can shoot, right? Suppose he can shoot. He can just cut, right? He can hit cutters.
So Tobias Harris, Danny Green, JJ Redick, Jimmy Butler, and Ben Simmons. That's 5 guys I can name, and we can keep going on and we can keep naming them. Those are guys that he only averaged 2 assists with.
But take Ben Simmons away because he.
I don't want Embiid to pass the ball. I want him to take it, go right into the post.
But we don't want DeAndre Ayton to pass the ball. He doesn't need to pass. Everybody's supposed to play their role until you don't want them to.
Like I wouldn't want Joker's assists to go down and his points to go up. Like that's not what I want from him. He's more of a distributor. Joel Embiid doesn't need to be a distributor because he's
does DeAndre Ayton need to be a distributor?
Yes, DeAndre's not dominant. DeAndre is not dominating
the guy who's leading the league in assists all time. I need to pass the ball.
Who? Joker?
Chris Paul.
Oh, Paul. My bad. I forgot. I didn't realize we were talking about.
Because here's the thing. So
all these rebounds that he's getting, how many offensive rebounds is he averaging?
2.5. This year, 2.5.
It's not. You would expect it to be more, but it's just because Chris Paul.
So we're gonna kill him because his teammates.
No, that's not what I'm killing him. I'm talking about him in comparison to his assist on why he doesn't have that many because he plays.
Because he gets okay. So what he does, right? When you miss the shot, right? You jump up, right? So when you secure, I feel like Tajon Prince was at Baylor. You come down with, right, and that's a rebound, right? What he does, he gets the board, he looks around, he goes, oh wait, I'm open, and then he jumps. And then when he jumps, he puts his hand over the rim, and then what he does, he throws the ball in while holding on to the rim. Are you done,
Pride? Are you done?
So when you do that, that's 2 points that gets credited to him and to his teammates. Or I'm sorry, and to his team. You know what I mean? Because that, you know what I mean? That's what he would do.
Are you done? Well, back to you, Mike. Like you said, his assist numbers are low because he plays with CP3 pretty much.
Devin Booker, CP3, Cam Johnson, a bunch of guys. Monty Williams also doesn't like to run through centers because he agrees that it's a point guards league, which it is. And guess what? That's exactly why you traded for James Harden, because Joel Embiid can't do dick on his own when it comes to the playoffs. So that's exactly why I did it. Unfortunately, you traded for a guy who also can't do dick in the playoffs.
Well,
so
no, made that trade because they got rid of a mentally weak person by Ben Simmons that he was afraid to shoot.
See,
and
that's like
obviously
there's
something wrong
and
with
that
him
is
because he's not playing yet.
I just want to show the inconsistency and how low we went. Because you're the dude who always preaches when someone's going through something mentally, you never judge them. For you to have the nerve and the audacity to say that is extremely disrespectful.
Name a time.
It is extremely disrespectful.
Name a time, Prod.
It's extremely disrespectful. All the time in the
Name a time.
Energy. I keep that. I'm on. I don't know if you're in that chat. I never seen you in that chat. This weekend, Freddie's been out.
Same dude who says, "Oh, we're not supposed to talk about other people's wives. Well, why we gotta talk about Patrick Mahomes' girl? We gotta leave him alone." All that stuff.
And then
somebody made the hold on. I'm talking. I'm not.
I want to know when did I say you never talk about somebody?
This is what bothers me about you, Freddie. You do this all the time.
Name
you
a time.
say sideways stuff, and then you let it simmer, and then we go over through, and then days and weeks later, when it gets brought up, you then say, "Oh, since there's no proof, I never said it." That by far is just so
ladies
low.
and gentlemen,
it's
since
so
no proof,
distasteful.
it was not said. But like I was saying, they made a trade for a guy that's mentally weak, that's afraid to take shots in big moments.
Then have the nerve to sit there and cry that every single time we talk about Russ and we say Russ Messi checked out, you be complaining like a little 2-year-old child.
Exactly.
Oh, how can you sit there and say
I was told. Here's what I was told, Ron.
So disrespectful.
Ron,
why is he not playing yet?
I know y'all ain't in the chat. Y'all ain't in the chat like that, you know. But Ron steps in from time to time. But Amon's a busy man, you know. Tar Heels Nation. But you know, I was told Kyrie Irving had no excuses from Freddie, right? No excuses. Mental health. Mental health isn't real. This, and that. So here's what happened the other week. There was two things that happened. One, Freddie said no one should make fun of Anthony Davis's injuries. No, I would never prey on another man's injuries. And then he went off to completely tear Derrick Rose in his ACL to a T.
By the way.
To a T. And everybody in the chat saw it. Every single coworker.
Yeah, but what? Go in full context.
The same way you were talking, sir, I'm talking. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Amon. I'm talking to Ron. I'm just filling them in. So, shush. And then I went off because, you know, I'm a Kyrie Irving supporter. I don't believe the earth is flat. And then honestly, I got the booster, dog. Like I think you should get that shit. But personally, myself, I said, man, Ben Simmons still ain't playing. What a bitch. That's what I said, Pride, correct? Yep. So I'm trying to keep that same energy. Freddie wants to come out. One, mention his back issues, which is the reason he's not playing.
No, that wasn't me. That sounded like Joe, sir.
And then Freddie went off and said, I'll never discredit a man's mental health. I'll never say anything about it.
That was not me, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. That was not me.
My mama said anything. She always said not to put words in somebody's mouth. That's what you said, bro.
I did not mention anything about Ben Simmons' back.
It's cool, though, bro, because I've given you screenshots and video recordings of you saying shit, and you just say it's Photoshop.
Can we see this, please? Because I know for a fact I didn't say that.
So if I post it later on the ASAP Network Facebook page, you just gonna like it and keep going on about your day?
Sure am.
Okay, cool.
If it's right to prove that I said it, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because
I did say it, I'm gonna back my name up. Yeah.
I just think it's funny. I just think it's hilarious we pick and choose when guys have mental health, right?
But let's pick up the point about the Derrick Rose thing. Let's put it in context. Yes, I did say the first part.
It was out of pocket and it came out of nowhere.
But you came out, Mike, and talked about another man injury. So I said, you know what? Damn.
What did I say? What did I say?
Talking about Anthony Davis. Oh, he said you always say something about the man. I mean,
you know why I'm so quiet right now?
You and Charles Barkley need to make a documentary of just talking about Anthony Davis. Him can't stay healthy. I mean, it would be the funniest movie ever because y'all two both have the slickest line.
I ain't say shit.
Oh, okay.
I was drunk, minding my business, enjoying St. Patrick's Day. Here you come, all up in my fucking notifications talking about D Rose got no ACL. I said, what?
Oh, so you didn't say, oh, Mike, please.
I was talking that shit.
No. Hold on, Mike. Hold on. Freddie, prove it. Where's the messages?
I can pull it up. Hey, hold on. Give me one sec.
No.
Give me 1 sec.
Hold up right now.
You have 5 seconds to pull it up.
No.
5 seconds to pull it up or it's not real. I wish court worked like this, Amon. If I could just look at the judge and be like, 5 seconds or it's not real.
All I gotta say is, are you not entertained? Those of you at home, are you not entertained? This is what you signed up for. Are you not entertained?
I don't even know what Ron's doing. Ron's probably looking up more stats from 2012 about centers in the league with assists.
I am over there looking at
Dwight Howard in his MVP type season. What? Averaged 3.5 for Orlando.
Ron, don't tell me, is it true?
It's facts.
Oh no.
I knew he was looking down way too long. I'm just saying, Freddie. Can't pick and choose when some man has mental health and when he's strong-minded and we should support him and when he's weak-minded and when we should support him.
No, but that's what it is, bro. We're supposed to support someone until we don't. Till we get butthurt. Like, that's ridiculous, bro. Nah, mad ridiculous, yo. Get out of here with that nonsense. That's some foolishness right there, bro. Saying that he's weak-minded. Oh, yeah, he's weak-minded.
He is weak-minded. Why is he not playing?
That's a joke right there.
Injury.
Why is he not playing?
He has a legitimate back injury.
Oh,
That's
okay.
He's had that since before.
How do you have a back injury and you haven't touched the court since summertime?
Easy. It's easy to have a back injury because stuff happens.
Okay.
Out of your mind.
Okay, keep taking up for this weak-minded guy. Keep taking up for it.
Out of here, bro.
Never weak-minded guy wins a championship this year. I don't think you're gonna be.
No, because it was the same thing. It was the same thing.
It won't be
when they were getting
him.
booed, when they were getting booed, when the Lakers were getting booed, it's actually very funny that he says this. The Lakers were getting booed, and somebody said, Somebody had said, Freddie was like, oh, you know, they're getting booed. It is what it is. Someone said, nah, they deserve it because they're playing like trash. What did Freddie say? Oh,
I don't think they was booing the Lakers.
Yeah, they're playing bad, but at least they're hustling. He had the nerve to say that.
No pride. They wasn't booing the Lakers. They was booing a certain individual on the team.
Lie some more.
They was booing him, asking him not to take a shot. I'm not gonna mention that person's name though.
Who let this man on the show?
Lie some more.
Yeah, I think we all know who they was begging not to let shoot.
All right, I got the official ratings. Pride. Are you ready?
Ron,
I love the commitment, bro. I love the commitment.
Pop off, King. Pop off.
The official center ratings. Of course, these are the official tried and true ratings because they are 2K's ratings. So I don't think we're gonna find anything more official. Joel Embiid and the Joker, of course, are 96. Rudy Gobert, 89. Karl Anthony Towns, 89. Bam, 87. Jared Allen, 86. And in 7th place is your boy DeAndre Ayton, is an 85. And I think that's the perfect place to put
Madden.
him.
Once you reach for 2K ratings, you just took.
Dog, Madden gave Tom Brady 85 speed when he retired. Is that accurate?
Oh God, yeah. Does that mean
he got 85 speed?
If you had
the speed of an 85-year-old, sure. He ain't got 85
start
speed.
in your franchise, and you have to pick a center. You picking Evan Mobley or DeAndre Ayton?
Wait, hold on. Are you saying right now I'm taking Evan Mobley or DeAndre Ayton?
Yeah.
You already know who I'm picking.
Mobley, right? He dropped 30 pieces last night on the Clippers.
No. I'm thinking DeAndre Ayton.
Evan Mobley's better than DeAndre right now, too.
You're smoking.
Evan Mobley and Jared Allen.
I agree.
Smoking. I like Jared a lot.
And I like Jared. I like me some Jared Allen. I like the kid. He's phenomenal. Every time he goes, he goes up for every dunk. No matter if he's gonna get a block or dunked on, he jumps with you. He gets great boards.
I think Mobley's a 3-and-D forward. I don't even know why we're having this conversation right now that he's a center.
Who?
Evan Mobley. He's a 3-and-D forward.
3-and-D.
No, Mike. Game 27. The third quarter.
Oh, he was
after it was starting at the 10-minute and 13-second mark. He played center because it was a mismatch.
Wow. Okay.
They set a pick and roll, so it was a mismatch. So he just so happened to be on Steven Adams for 30 seconds. Damn. True story. And the reason it's 30 seconds is because he was on him, and then when they ran on the fast break, Steven Adams went on him. So since Steven Adams is a center and he had to guard him, and then vice versa, that makes him a center.
Wow. So he's elite.
Oh, he's top tier. He's goated.
Yeah, 100%.
He's better than MJ.
Yeah, 100%.
Bro, he put Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon to shame, bro.
He is about to win Rookie of the Year. Some ain't, wasn't it?
Who about to win Rookie of the Year?
Mobley.
Obviously, don't bring up nothing about no
maybe.
dang old Clippers. We don't want to hear that bull crap.
I mean, I think you can. I mean, honestly, I think when it comes to rookie of the year, you can give it to him, Scotty Barnes. I mean, I've heard Cade Cunningham getting some love lately. I mean, maybe
he's doing his thing. He's officially arrived.
Who?
Cade.
Oh yeah, it was a slow start, but you know now he's starting
to lose hope.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna hold you. He had me down for a good minute. I ain't even gonna lie. I had it because I had him on my fantasy. I was so close to cutting him. I was like, do better. He started picking up. I was like, all right, coach. I was like, you got it.
Good day, sir. But yeah.
Hey, Mike, we're not going to come after the meet about goodbye, sir. Mike, just know it's all love.
All right, fuck you then. Have a horrible day. I don't care. I said good day. Just it.
Jesus.
But I think Franz Wagner is really good too. I say it all the time. It's the same situation as Evan. If Ayo Dosunmu was starting, it's a different conversation, but it's a great team. He knows his role. It's always about roles, Ron. You got to understand your role to get to the finals, and that's what DeAndre Ayton does, is understand.
Ron, I got a question. Since DeAndre Ayton is that great of a center, why did they have to pick up another center in the buyout market and business?
Listen, DeAndre Jordan.
Simple.
Listen,
no, hold on. Simple. Hold on. No. Simple. Because they learned from their lesson that when it's just DeAndre Ayton and he gets in foul trouble, you then have to go small.
So he can't play defense.
Hold on. If Joel Embiid is that great, why did they have to go get? I'm asking for a friend. Why do they have to go get DeAndre Jordan as a backup?
So they let the backup go.
Trouble. You can sit him for a bit, and you still have another center you could put out there.
Hey, Pride.
So Aiden couldn't hold his ground.
My Lakers for you, Freddie. Why did you have JaVale McGee, DeAndre Jordan, Dwight Howard, and Anthony Davis all in a span of 2 years when Anthony Davis is your franchise center and he's one of the greatest centers to ever grace God's green earth and he's one of the greatest to ever do it? And honestly, he should be in the GOAT conversation, but if he didn't just tear his vagina every 3 weeks, then he'd probably be one of the best players in the entire league, right?
Because when the Lakers was playing basketball this year, we was a versatile team. Last year when we had JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, and AD, we was positionless, so we can play two centers at once and be dominant. And then this year
you play two centers at once because one of them doesn't fucking play center.
No. Hold on. And then this year, by us signing a player, trading for a player to make so much money, we couldn't get a quality big. I'm not gonna name that player. We got forced in the body by getting guys that was burnt. Dwight Howard is burnt, and DeAndre Jordan is burnt. So that's why.
JaVale McGee's not burnt.
He's not on our team. He hasn't been on our team like 3 years now.
So JaVale McGee on the Suns isn't burnt. He's just a backup.
No, I know. He's a great player. Bismack Biyombo was a great center for them as well. But I want to know why did they have to go get him? Was maybe because DeAndre.
Why did you have to go get? All right. Let's play the positionless game. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, DeAndre Jordan. You have all of those centers. Why?
Like I said, I'm gonna repeat it yet again. We made a horrible mistake by trading for a guy that makes so much money that absolutely brings us nothing to the core. So we was forced by signing guys on minimum contracts. So with that being said,
you had all of those guys before.
Hold on. No.
You had all those guys before.
No, we did not. We didn't have DeAndre Jordan. We didn't have Dwight Howard at the time. So it forced us to go get minimum guys. And so those two minimum guys, and Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan, are burnt. So
Dwight Howard, 2020 championship. What team did he play for?
Yeah, but he's burnt now.
He was burnt then.
No, he gave us more valuable minutes then.
So you pick and choose.
Hold on. Time on. Hold on. Freddie went on a whole diatribe.
Why the fuck did
how Anthony Davis is a center? Hold on. How Anthony Davis is a center. So why would you need JaVale McGee? If he was a center on your championship run, why would you need JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard?
So let me answer that. Yeah,
if you had Anthony Davis,
go do me a favor. Go to the bathroom, get a Q-tip, stick in your ear, and pull it out.
Explain.
Well, let me explain this yet again. When you have Anthony Davis at the power forward position, when you had Dwight Howard, It is nobody wanted to play the Lakers at a big lineup. That's why.
So Amon, you heard him. He was a center until
but in the playoffs,
Mike,
let's not sit here and act like we didn't see Anthony Davis switch over to the 5, and we still dominated.
I saw you lose to DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, we lost to him with a hurt Bron and a hurt AD. You're right. You're absolutely
That's the narrative that just keeps continuing, though, right?
No, that's not. Well, you're right. You're right. But when he was healthy, he dropped 40 on your dude, and they beat him.
And when Derrick Rose was healthy, he was one of the best point guards in the league. But I'm an idiot if I sit here and say that he still is.
You didn't see much of it, though, did you?
I saw something Anthony Davis will never fucking get, and that's
and I've seen something that your team will never do. See until Michael Jordan come back is win a championship. Carry him on, please.
That's cute. That's cute, right? That's why you got Anthony Davis, a Disney championship. It meant nothing.
But guess what? If your team won that Mickey Mouse, won that Disney, won that Florida championship, guess what? You're going to be talking about it all day long as well.
Not at all. You know why? Because the craziest part about all of this, Damian, I'm sorry, but that's not really news. We all kind of knew that. But it comes down to it, Freddie. If the playoffs started when they were originally supposed to, I think a lot of people forget. Pride remembers because me and Pride talk about it all the time. Anthony Davis was not going to play. LeBron James was not going to play. But then, woe is me, Rudy Gobert coughed on literally everybody, and they get 3 months to just sit at home and hang out and do their little $100 million body techniques, and now they're both healthy. If it ended when it was supposed to help, you would have 0 championships with this squad.
No, you're absolutely wrong.
And you can sit here and say what you
want.
want.
When the season shut down, the Lakers are playing their best basketball this year. You're wrong about that, Mike. They just got done beating the Clippers, and they just got done beating the Bucks. They was the heavy favorite out there. Everybody's like, okay, here they come. So we don't know.
And then AD went
but
down.
If
and
the
then
Chicago Bulls would have won that championship, you would have been the most highest person in the damn world. I don't want to hear a damn thing about it.
I might be the highest person in the room, but I saw what I saw, and that's exactly what
I saw what I saw. We champions. And like I said, you're going to need Michael Jeffrey Jordan to come out of retirement to save your franchise. I don't know if anybody watched the documentary, the Lakers documentary, and the one thing that Boston Celtics owner said, he said, and I love this, but I'm gonna go back and record this because I say it all the time. He said, I'm not trying to be a team to win 50 games and lose in the playoffs.
I just think
I'm trying to win the chip. And so until y'all stop being pretenders, come talk to me.
Pride, how do you allow this to happen, bro? You're the host of this show. We're talking about the 9th seed right now, bro.
You know what? Yes, Pride. How did you let this happen? We're talking about a Chicago Bulls team that haven't done it.
Don't say that because once I
years.
We're not talking about this right now, so.
I'm just
saying.
We're
going to act like they're the standard of the damn NBA. Get out of here.
Fourth in the East, but that's cool.
Yeah, that's cute. Like I said, that's
Isn't
cute.
it 9 years?
Are you going to get a ring on the finger? No.
So hold on. I'm on. Say that one more time.
Ain't it 9 years? The Lakers have like 7 losing seasons, or
and what
that the standard? Is that the standard? I'm sorry.
But guess what? We got 17 of them. As many bad years.
Oh, here we go. Yeah,
cool. As many bad years that we've got it. Nobody yet has been able to sniff on this yet.
Well, I hate you with a passion. Matter of fact.
No, hold on. What'd he say?
Some bullshit.
You want me to say it again?
Yes, say it one more time, please, because what you got doing like you a cunt. No one can understand you.
As many a time, as long as we've been bad, we've had bad seasons. We've won 17 games in the season. We've won 29 games in the season. 30. It's been bad. Mm-hmm. Nobody yet sniffed on us when it comes to championships. Only the Lakers in Boston. That's it. Ain't nobody else has come close to us.
Who?
Now, carry on.
But that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, though.
Right. Who?
You heard me.
Asked.
I told you.
But here's my thing, Freddie. Like that's a horrible take.
No, it's not, Pride, because people want to sit up and talk because they having a good season, a good regular season. They want to make it seem like that don't mean a damn thing. That don't
it
mean
does,
nothing
because
until you finish the job
right now. That's what I mean.
You have to start the job to finish the job. I mean, start the job in a while.
I mean, think about it. Like, Amon, we got 17 championships, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You haven't won in a while yourself.
Yes,
I mean,
sir. Exactly.
Hold on.
Maybe one that
By your logic, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no one can
Because no
sniff
one has
us.
as many
No one can
championships
sniff
as
us except for the
one
Lakers.
that won. And
How
long-
the turn
Boston
tables.
haven't been
All of a
relevant
sudden,
since the
now Freddie's
Showtime.
going to try to find a loophole. Do better. Do better.
We won 6.
Yeah,
I know that.
Showtime.
This is
Since
how
the
bad it
Showtime.
is.
They haven't been relevant since the Showtime.
After that one championship, Boston have not won a championship since Showtime.
Dude, what did you miss 2010 completely?
I said that one. I said since they won in 2008, that was the last time Boston Celtics won.
You said since Showtime. Showtime was in the fucking 50s.
What are you talking about?
That's my point. Boston won that one championship. Have not been relevant since.
And you won one championship.
No,
and have not been relevant
we
since.
won 6. Since your dude Michael Jordan retired, the Lakers have won 6 championships. Imagine that.
Okay.
And the Chicago Bulls have not been relevant since. They had the whole Derrick Rose, Fernandez.
They were relevant with Derrick Rose.
He
What are
didn't
you
do it.
talking
Now
about?
you're leaning on Zach
Mike,
LaVine and DeMar DeRozan to save y'all, which they won't.
Why am I leaning
Hey,
on
Ron,
them?
Philly and
They're
four.
on my
Mike, Freddie
roster.
wishes he could lean on DeMar DeRozan. That's the issue. He wished the Lakers could
No,
lean on
no,
DeMar
no,
DeRozan.
no, no, I don't.
Hey,
No, I don't.
you
Ron.
keep leaning
Hey,
on Russ,
Ron,
big dog. See
Philly
how
and
far that
4.
gets you?
Ron,
Hey, you know what's
Philly and
crazy,
4.
Pride. At least I could lean on my guys, because if you lean on AD, you might break something.
Hey, Ron, Philly and 4.
Yeah, if we play Chicago.
You got that right.
I don't know.
Hey, the realest shit, all the
Right.
shit that Freddie talks, Pride, about Zion, he's gonna be the one to bust your ass in the play-in. But that's neither here nor there. And I'm really
Man, we
excited.
won't even
to
make
see
the damn play-in the way it's looking.
You got the greatest player.
Okay.
of all time.
So if you guys don't make the plane, that means that you guys are bad this year, right?
Hell yeah. My team has got contaminated by a bad,
Okay. So
virus right now.
So if someone says the Lakers are dog shit this year, it's just end of story, right?
Hell yeah.
So okay, Ahmad,
Honestly, I
you heard it
agree
here
with you.
first. Give it 2 days. Someone says Lakers are dog shit. Says bring up 17 championships.
Nope.
Tell you right
I agree.
Freddie's generic as
I
they come.
agree. We've got this guy in here that's not a winner. He contaminated us like a bad virus. It's worse than COVID. It's spreading so fast to our roster.
Here's the scapegoat. Love that shit.
No, he ain't no
It-
scapegoat.
it-
He
it-
ain't
it
no
is his
scapegoat. I promise
It is
you
his
that.
fault.
Why'd you lose last year?
The season started way too soon in injuries. That's why. But it wasn't this. Even I'd rather that year
Let
than
me
this year.
ask this.
These people was winning games.
When you got a 3-month break so Anthony Davis could get healthy, it means nothing.
Hold on, Mike. Everyone had a 3-month break, so you got to relax with that narrative.
But the season started early for everybody.
That's what I'm saying. So
everybody didn't play as late like the Lakers.
But that's what I'm saying. How is Freddie going to
team.
keep it to this double standard? That
It's because, Mike, if you want to say this all, because if this Chicago, the foot would be on the other foot. Nobody played as late as the Lakers in Miami, and last year they was the 2 most hurt teams in the NBA.
I'll be honest. If the Celtics won, I'm wearing that ring with pride. No pun intended. That's why I don't take that ring away from the Lakers. That's why
Russ ain't the scapegoat. He is the problem. He is the virus that is scoped in.
And Mike, but Freddie, you can't tell Mike that because Mike been hanging around Jim too much.
I'm just telling you straight up, you have 90% of these players on veteran minimum contracts, and you're wondering why they only average.
Why? But
that's your fault.
That's supposed to be a
Mike, I understand the contract.
I'm in here making all this money. He can barely. He
but
can
Ryan,
barely shoot off the damn side of the goal.
That's where I'm going with Freddie because Mike, I get the contract thing. Don't get it twisted.
They knew
Bron deserves some responsibility. I understand Bron deserves some responsibility. So does the front office, right? But you can only blame them so much because once Russ gets on the court, he needs to do something called play well.
No,
and
I
if he
blame
can't
Russ.
do that, he needs to wear that responsibility.
Right.
I think it's that he has no expectation.
If we go and we trade for Damian Lillard, right? And Damian Lillard ends up being hot dog water. Does our management team deserve it? Yes. The front office deserves some responsibility. If Jason Tatum said we got to get him,
deserves some responsibility too. I completely
But at
acknowledge
the
that.
end of the day, if a guy's playing like dog shit,
Right.
he's like I
think it's worse than dog shit at this point.
I mean, to be honest, I'll be honest with you. I would rather have my kids come in here and shit on my kneecap right here, right now, than be 5 feet near Russ. I'm not joking.
That's not a lie. You're not lying. I'm telling you straight
Mike,
up.
you can't say that and then go, oh yeah, but then it's everyone else's fault. You've been hanging around with Jim too much. You got to relax.
I'm telling you straight up, Pride. Right now, the conversation though is what's it turning into? It's turning into an scapegoat. Even when Russ
is not.
But Mike, I can't
when
agree.
You have $100 million into three guys. One is dog shit. The other one's never on the court. Yep. And the other one's just the kid from Akron who's a washed king and has every reason to drop 50 every single night. That's cool. And the rest of that roster makes $1 million and you're dog shit and you wonder why? That's on your front office.
But why? But why? It's because they thought they was going to get a guy that wasn't going to score 5 points. They thought they was going to get a guy who could shoot, but get.
I don't know.
Why did you think that?
They thought they was going to get a guy who could play defense. They thought they was going to get a guy who wasn't going to do all this.
A guy.
They was wrong. Guess what? They didn't get a winner. This dude is not a winner. He don't cares about winning. Hell, you can hear about his
never fucking did.
I had no expectations. Well, get your ass out the NBA. You don't have no
expectations. Cared. Why did you think you were gonna change him, bro?
It's not about changing him. I thought he could score more than 5 points in a game.
Freddie, remember when I first came on? From
the 3-point line.
Go ahead. When I first came on and we had our test debate show, and I said this ain't gonna work, and you're like, just give us some time. Give us some time.
Yeah,
right. Like we need
more time.
I told you back then this is what's gonna happen. But
not only that, I'll be honest, bro. I've been saying this since
we all
trade went down.
100%. I said LA made the best trade for Matthew Stafford and the worst trade for Russell Westbrook. That was my take on my podcast. I told them
straight up. I was like, the ceiling for this Lakers team is a first-round exit. That's the ceiling. At best,
we're not even make the playoffs. We're not making the play-in, bro.
It's looking like y'all not even gonna make it to play-in. But Mike, this is where I gotta push back because I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, if a guy's playing like trash, he's playing like trash. This is the first time in NBA history, the first time where you traded for a guy plays like trash, and he gets defended, and it's poor him. No, he's playing like garbage.
Right.
He's shooting like garbage.
100%.
He's throwing the ball like garbage. His defense is garbage.
It's bad.
Don't still come here and say, oh, yeah, it's more on the front office. No. If a guy's playing like shit, 100%. Guess what? He's shit. For example, 100%. If all of a sudden, and Ron, you can back me up on this. If all of a sudden James Harden falls off the face of the planet, who deserves more blame? The GM or the player? Be honest, Ron.
The player?
He don't like me no more. Nah. Ron don't fuck with me no more. Ever since the whole DeAndre Ayton thing, he's like,
he don't.
That was a hard question.
That was so like, am I sure that I have to say
I think it was a bad example. I think Ron had a hard time with that because it's like you had to trade Ben type thing. Like it was a little different.
No. But I'm just talking about in general. Whoever you traded for, if they come back,
100%,
it's ultimately the GM's responsibility. Yeah.
Like if you want to put some of that blame on the GM, no problem. But you got to put it on the player because at the end of the day,
Pride, it's getting so bad, bro. Bro, but Pride, they didn't expect a guy to come in here who will miss flat, wide open layups. They didn't expect that.
And
nobody did.
Saying, bro, that's not the GM's fault. Russ is missing a fast open wide.
Right, and I hear that, but I'm just saying it's an entire team, bro, and it's like they're all dog shit.
Right, but who's the biggest pile of dog shit in the room? Russ.
But Mike, when you trade for a guy,
I'm being so straight up. I just want to know.
Came with the mindset, okay, we're depending on our big three. One thing we know, with Russ, he can get us to the playoffs. Hey, with Russ, this big three can take us. So, we go sacrifice the cap space to get other guys because we
when does that work? When is that work ever?
They did not believe that this guy was a high. They did not believe this guy was going to miss wide open layups. Play no defense, have no effort, have none of that. They didn't believe in that. And that's what they've got. And Russ, when you hear him say, oh, I had no expectations, how the hell you play for the Lakers with no expectations? With none.
Let's be honest.
He's always been that way, Freddie. He don't care.
Let's be honest. Like, when he said that, Mike, you defended him. You defended him.
For what?
When Russ said I had no expectations or whatever, you defended him when he said that. I wasn't here. When Paul George when he was with the Clippers and blew that 3-1 lead, and he said we didn't have any championship expectations, what was your reaction to that?
I didn't really have one. I don't really like Paul George. I don't care for Paul George.
All right. Well, you want
I don't care for Paul George for different reasons. Indiana Paul George, I'll never forgive, and I'm terrified of Paul George. So,
but, Mike, you wanted to ask me something, right? Go ahead.
I just don't get. For me,
Yep.
you put in all this money, and I want to ask you,
Yep.
Damian Lillard gets flipped right now for Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
Does it change the fact that 85% of that roster
changes everything?
Is dog shit?
It changes everything. And the reason why I say now, do they win a championship? I'm not sure, but I promise you, they're way closer.
They're a lot better. They're definitely a lot better
playing.
Right. They win at least 40, 50 games.
Right. But Mike, the other guys around them, are they a problem? Sure. But they're not as big as a problem as Russ. See, what you're trying to do, you're trying to say Russ is a problem, THT is a problem. Oh, you got two problems. And in theory, that's correct. In theory. However,
it's not just them, though. It's all of them. Everyone but Carmelo and Monk, aside from the big three, Carmelo, Monk. That's it. That's the only.
Are you for real? That's happening?
Yeah.
Did y'all see what Mon put in the comments?
Yo, I thought that was a joke.
No, that's real. Mike Garofalo, pass rusher Randy Gregory pulling a U-turn. He's agreeing to terms with the Broncos.
The Broncos aren't agreeing with Randy Gregory. So this is the tweet. And so it's the Broncos, not the Cowboys, that are in agreement with Randy Gregory. My understanding is that Dallas insisted on contract language that Gregory did not like protecting themselves. So he heads to Denver. So if I understand this correctly, basically the only way would mean, so basically if he got injured, he wasn't going to get paid. That's basically the only thing I could think of. He said Cowboys try to close out deals, and it shows Ben Simmons at the free throw line.
You can't. Hey, I'm just gonna say this, y'all. You can't make this up. This is what the Cowboys
free
do.
agency.
You should have franchise tagged him, but you franchised him to tight end. You already let Cooper go. I mean, this is what they do. Hey, they just better hope CeeDee Lamb is that guy. I'm just saying, because this is a guy that have dropped big passes in big games. They just better hope.
Hell yeah, 100%. But let's not talk about what Freddie Henderson does. That's a whole different conversation for a different.
Mike, I love you. I love my brother. That's what I do.
I'll leave it alone. You don't want me to do it on here.
Dog, it's just I don't know, man. I don't. It's just interesting. This is the first time in NBA history where a guy has played like dog shit and we've defended him. And I've defended him.
But what did I tell you every single time? And here's the difference. I love Jim Cross, but here's the difference between me and Jim is you see me backing off of it now, and I leave it alone. Why? Because the first 20 games of a season, I wasn't going to define the rest of your season. Now we're like 60 games into the season. It's the same dog shit we've seen from the beginning.
Honestly, it got worse.
It's gotten a lot worse, to be honest. You're
still defending him. Because you're like, oh yeah, whoa, because you're doing whataboutism. You're like,
right.
What about Malik Monk?
If you let me explain it to you, I didn't say nothing about Malik Monk. I love Malik Monk. Remember, Freddie said that makes them a big three. But it comes down to it, pride. If you let me explain it to you where I'm coming from, as someone who's been a Bulls fan, someone who's been a Bears fan, and hear nothing but a scapegoats, when Russ finally does leave and they put everything else together, there's still going to be problems. Like, at the end of the day, there's a lot more problems to this team than everything else going on.
I can't say that.
Russ is the number one problem. But there's other things throughout this roster, top to bottom. There's no development. There's no future to this team.
You ready to hear the funny part? All those other problems, you combine them together, and it's still not. It won't even have half the impact.
And I understand what you're saying.
So Mike, I got a question.
When Russ leaves, and LeBron retires, who's the future of that franchise?
Well, we're not talking. Well, clearly, when they got LeBron and AD, the Lakers kind of said,
they don't care about the future. The same thing with the Rams. When Ramsey and Donald and Matthew Stafford,
what I'm saying is that's what they're talking about right now. It's been 2 years since they won.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
You're talking about why are we dog shit? You're dog shit because it's been 2 years and you were a short window team.
No, that's not why we're dog shit, Mike. No, it's not, bro. No. So because they can easily, let's say this offseason, they find a trade or something. They can get they get some money back. They can go sign some more free agents. Valuable free agents, they retool this roster, then they can be back into at least competing. So we're like Brian said, we're not talking about 3-5 years down the road. When you go after a guy like these guys, they're in win mode now. The problem here is that they got the wrong guy.
Damn.
It's like
for me. I just wanted to pop in real quick because I heard him and Mike. I'm coming to your defense because everything he said is real. They built this team for a 2-year window, and that 2-year window expired. And what happened after that? It was chaos. They tried to do what they could with a little bit of money, signing some big name players, big names, and to replenish that roster. And it didn't work.
One big name that failed.
Yeah,
Carmelo Anthony.
Howard.
Carmelo Anthony's not
like, listen. Melo was not. He's not as big of a name as he was in New York.
No.
But,
but that's
he
the
still
thing.
was a big name. Like,
but he wasn't. We didn't expect Carmelo come here to save the franchise.
Hold on, Freddie.
Now let's not do that.
Understand what I'm saying.
That's what Jay is saying.
You're not catching
in
on.
2010, he's going to change the franchise. Right now, it's just a name that was
correct.
Yeah,
big
still
name.
Valuable.
No.
It's like if
he's valuable.
Right. It's like if
he had a better season than Russ this year.
No, but you're not hearing me. You're defending the Lakers. Listen, this is not about you. Listen, they went out and signed big names. Carmelo Anthony has a big stamp. They're going to sell jerseys with that. Westbrook is a big name. They're going to sell jerseys with that. You got DeAndre Jordan, a big name. They're going to sell Jordan jerseys with that. You got these guys. These are big name guys. It's not about what they were bringing to the quote unquote basketball court at that time. They're in their head. They got Russ, AD, and Bron. They can at least make the playoffs. That's what they're saying in their head. Then you go get these. Thank you for finally saying that. No, because you were one of the guys. Hold on. Don't say that to yourself because you were one of the guys that were on here just screaming and yelling and
what was I saying, Jay?
And about how you guys won a championship by signing Russell Westbrook.
No.
And that's we can go back. But listen,
this is what I said. I
don't think you know exact words you said.
No, I know what I said. This is what I said. LeBron and AD didn't talk to Russ. Hopefully he will change his game and we will be and everything will work out. And
that sounds poetic.
But guess what? Russell Westbrook have not done what he had to do to change his game to help this team win.
Freddie, listen. The fact that you guys are keying in on Russell Westbrook and not looking at everything on the team is a problem.
He's the problem. He's the biggest problem. What are you talking about? You just scored 5 points in a game and he's not a problem.
You know what's crazy? Did you overlook the fact that the first half of the season you guys were blaming Russ for turnovers and how Russ was leading the team in turnovers? The second half of the season, Russ completely changed that narrative. He's not leading the team in turnovers, and you guys are still not looking elsewhere.
Okay, what about how he
that was the main reason?
Is he shooting the ball horrible still?
Okay. Taking
bad shots, playing
besides LeBron is the only one in the second half of the season that has increased his field goal or 3-point shooting percentages. Everybody else in the team is declined. No, hold on. Stop talking about Russell. That's what
No, he's the problem. What about Russ?
Hold on.
I'm asking you a question. What about the shooting percentage? What about the 3-point shooting percentage?
How many players are on a roster?
None. But who?
How many
I'm talking
players
about the main important pieces of the team.
Where's AD?
That's what we're talking about.
Where's AD?
He is the reason why they could not put pieces around him. He's the reason.
He's the reason. AD and
when you make that much money and you come in here, guess what? It's understand. Okay, we have to go get guys on the minimum contract.
Freddie, if you trade tomorrow, if tomorrow you traded Russell Westbrook for John Wall, what does that change?
I believe we'd be a better position.
Why?
Honestly,
why?
I'll be honest.
Honest to God answer. I mean,
I look to agree with Freddie, and this is why I believe.
Don't give him any. Don't
because you're getting a guy in John Wall that is understanding that he's at least he's not coming here and say, "Oh, I have no expectations." Don't speak on psychology. No. I'm talking. You asked me. I'm going to tell you. Hold on.
Speak on the basketball.
You're getting a guy that comes in here and say, he will not say that I don't have no expectations by coming to play for the Lakers. That's number one. And number two, guess what? John Wall's just not going to take crazy shots and hit on the side of the goal.
So wait.
Number three,
your first two.
John Wall's played one season in the last 4 years, right?
I understand that, but guess what? He's not going to think he should be the best player on that team as well. Russell Westbrook thinks that he should be the guy on this Lakers team every night.
So the first two answers and then his supporting to the first two answers were all hypothetical. This is what I think. And that's the
Well,
problem.
no, it's not.
And
What I
that's the
think it's
problem.
showing on the court. It's showing on the court. When
When's the
you
last
have
time
a
you seen
guy
John
put
Wall
on
play a
the front
basketball
of the
game?
goal and say, "I have no expectations," get his bum ass out of LA.
When's the last time you seen John Wall play a basketball game?
When was the last time we
Earlier
seen
this year.
Russell Westbrook lead a team?
What was that?
Earlier
Brian?
this year.
No, you seen him. I didn't ask you. When's the last time you seen him?
I'm asking you a question. When was the last time we seen Russell Westbrook lead a team to a deep
Friendly
run?
fire.
Last year in
When
the
a
playoffs
team,
for
yeah,
Washington
thank you,
Wizards.
Mike. So again, my question
When was
to
the
you
last
is,
time we see this guy win anything?
when is the last time you seen John Wall play a basketball game, please?
I seen videos, workout videos and stuff.
Okay, that goes back to what I was just saying. Everything
what?
that you
I'd
said.
rather
Hold
take
on.
that than
Don't
Russell
interrupt me.
Westbrook.
Don't interrupt me. Listen, that just goes back to what I was just telling you, where everything that you said about what John Wall will do was hypothetical. It was
But guess
opinionated.
what? Hell,
So again-
I'd rather Cameron Payne than Russ because he's gonna do something better than Russell Westbrook.
Again, what
So
this
it don't
is getting-
matter.
so
It
what
don't
this is-
matter.
what
We
this
can
is
get
getting-
better, I promise you,
What this
than
is
Russell
getting at.
Westbrook.
what
And if
this
you
is
don't
getting
want to
at-
say Russ is a problem, you're clearly not
No
watching.
one
NBA
said Russ
basketball.
wasn't a problem.
I'm sorry.
I'm
And if
saying
you don't want to
get
say
rid of
he's not
Russ
the number one problem, you're not watching.
because
I'm
you
sorry.
don't listen. You just talk. That's all you do.
No, you're just not watching him. You're
Real
defending a guy. This is what y'all doing. You're defending a guy who misses blank, wide open
And
layup.
no one's
guy
saying
who
he's
shoots all
not
the-
dog
who
shit.
can't
That's
shoot.
why you just
No,
talk,
but
bro.
here's
You
the
hear
thing.
people speak,
Here's the thing,
and you
yeah.
just get ready for your
Let me
next
hear real quick, Jay.
comment.
Because I'm gonna
That's
tell
all
you
you
what
do.
I'm gonna tell you what my
Thank you,
biggest
Mike.
gripe
Pride's
is.
talking right now, and Pride
And-
and Freddie's already thinking of his next comment. He's not even listening to what the fuck.
No,
you're about
no,
to
it's
say.
just
And
funny
this
how
is-
y'all come to defend a guy. Y'all come
No,
to
but
defend
listen,
a
telling
guy
you,
that
this
is not
motherfucker's
playing
gonna
up to
leave,
par.
and
I mean,
you're
you can allow the
still
dude all
shit.
y'all want. The dude is playing ass. If
But
you don't
Freddie-
want to admit
but
it,
Freddie-
And Jay, real quick, let me just say one thing because
Yes,
this is
go
what my biggest gripe is. This is the first time I've seen a dude play horrible and people rush to his defense and rush to his aid. And my
Right.
thing is I understand that the front office they need some responsibility for getting Russ in here. Same with LeBron. I get all of that, but there's a point where you need a guy to play defense. When a
100%.
guy is leaving his guys wide open,
100%. And
try
they
to
score
go
what,
get-
60% on him?
you said they're
Yeah.
last
So-
time it was like 60, now it's like 50
Right,
something.
with that
Go
thing, you need a guy to play defense. Did you guys
Yeah.
see when the ball bounced in between 3 Laker players and none of them were Russ and they didn't get the rebound?
And I understand that. However,
No,
Colin,
but
the
I
problem
don't
with
understand
that-
how that's a Russ problem.
And I'm gonna
But
tell you
have
why.
you also seen a
again,
guy
I'm gonna
that
tell you
missed
why.
a
Here
wide
comes a
open
Russ
layup?
statement. Here comes a
I've
Russ
seen
No,
it.
statement.
because I'm gonna tell you why. But I'm gonna tell you why because I've spoken with other Lakers fans and they say that same thing and they hope you don't watch enough Lakers games so you don't have a rebuttal. Unfortunately, I do. For every time that happens, there's 4 instances that Russ leaves his guy wide open in the corner. And Freddie knows this because he watched every game. Russ leaves his guy wide open in the corner, go chase a rebound. He bumps into LeBron.
Now let me
bumps
break down.
into
Let me
whoever was
break.
gonna get the
Let me
Get
break
the
something
rebound.
down for
It's
you.
a loose ball, then they get it, and guess who they swing it to? The guy that Russ left wide open for a clean 3, and they rip
All
it.
right.
Right.
So
So
let me
see what I'm
explain
saying?
this to
So
you.
I'm
Let me
just
explain.
like,
Let me explain something. Let me explain
Go
something.
ahead.
And this is why. And before you start frowning your eyebrows and thinking of what you're going to say to rebuttal what I'm going to say, because I ain't said nothing yet. I can already see it in your face.
I'm waiting
Listen.
for you to say something. You
Listen,
going
I
to
can
long
tell
story.
you're waiting for me to say
You waiting
something.
going
so you
long
can say
story. I'm
something
ready.
else.
I'm waiting.
So this is the thing, guys. I'm going to take you back to the OKC Russell Westbrook and that team
Yes.
that was built around him. Steven Adams, one of the best rebounders in the game, but also probably the best box out center in basketball.
100%.
Yes.
Okay.
Better than DeAndre Ayton too.
Thank you, Ron.
Hey, yo, leave him. Yeah,
Hey,
hey,
Ron is waiting for it.
No, I have no
Ron's
arguments with that. I have no arguments with that. Steven Adams
spin.
is on the court probably the best box out center in the game.
He agreed with you. I like Steven Adams. I like Steven
And what Steven Adams would do is Steven Adams would box out his player to the point where he was ineligible to get the rebound. And Russ would come in and get the ball. Now, let me explain why that's significant. When the center gets a rebound, he needs to turn, clear it out, throw the ball off. That's 3 to 4 seconds if there's defense around, right? If Russ gets the rebound, he's in motion and hitting top speed within 2 seconds, okay? And he's on to the running. The other thing is Russ plays very good, very, very good help defense. Russ, and it's not something that a lot of people see unless they're really paying attention. Russ will lean off of his player to get a steal on somewhere on the court. But again, when we go back to OKC, they understand. Hold on, quiet, because you don't know what we're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. You just don't watch
OKC understood Russ's game. So when Russ would do this, the team would accommodate for Russ moving that way.
So it's the Lakers' reason why he's playing.
Freddie, I'm not. No, I understand. Here you are. You're listening to respond. You're listening to respond.
No.
So the team would accommodate. The team would accommodate for that. So what I'm telling you guys is, again, it's not about Russ. You can't pinpoint LeBron. You can't pinpoint AD. This team is not a team that plays together. Carmelo Anthony is typically a spot-up shooter. Carmelo Anthony is typically a guy that later in his years, he doesn't play the same type of aggressive defense that he used to.
In all honesty, he's really stopped playing that type of defense after Denver. And when he got to New York, he kind of really did focus on being an offensive threat.
Hey, so I gotta go. I want to say one last thing though. You're right, Jay. It's all on the Lakers. It's nothing to do with Russ. Hey, they got everything to do with Russ.
That's why no one listens though.
They got everything going to the Lakers. The reason why he can't
can I ask you a question?
It's all on the Lakers.
Freddie's not gonna let nobody talk.
It's all on the Lakers. He played.
Freddie ain't gonna let nobody talk.
Hell, it's even on the Lakers why he shoot the side of the basketball goal. It's nothing to do with
that's a 13. Damn, pretty baller.
You're absolutely right.
I promise you, this man says this shit in his mirror every day before he wakes up.
I'm glad you came on here.
No, you're not. Go ahead, bro. We good.
Free Russ.
Hey, don't be fake. Go ahead.
Jay, let me ask you a question, Jay. Let me ask you a question, Jay, because you did bring up about about OKC with all the help stuff, right? Isn't it really on, because ever since then from OKC, he's never been a help defender ever since.
Well,
mostly because the situation, Washington, he never did it either. But again, because I will agree with you that solid help defender.
In Washington, he was still getting triples. He was still doing his thing. It wasn't as dominant. Why is this dude in the back?
That's what I'm saying, Jay.
Go ahead. You know what I'm saying though? Like he still is able to do that in Washington, just not to the same capacity. They weren't set up the same as OKC, and he didn't have 2 years, 3 years to set the team up around him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if a guy leaves OKC, he goes to Washington. He can't, in 1 year, he can't play his normal style. Gets mad, demands a trade. Goes to Washington, can't play his normal style. Gets mad, demands a trade. At some point, the blame has to go on.
He didn't demand a trade in Washington.
Yes, he did. No, he demanded a trade in Washington. Hold on. You can look it up whenever you feel like, whenever you have a minute, and then I'll wait for my apology. Matter of fact, I want you to actually handwrite.
But was that when the whole Bradley Beal wanted out? He wanted out.
No. See, and this is the thing. Bradley Beal didn't want out. Russ convinced him. Russ was attempting to convince him to leave.
Can we stop talking about conversations we weren't on?
What do you mean? It's widely reported. Russ came out and said it.
Hey, Ron, did you hear that? Russ called Beal. It was like, hey, bro, did you score 30 tonight? Because I scored 30 tonight. Yeah, you scored. Hey, we shouldn't be here.
Jay,
we shouldn't be
here. There's a report. Jay, there's a report from September 27, 2021 from NBC Sports. Russell Westbrook urged Bradley Beal to request trade from Washington Wizards.
Yeah, because Russ went and demanded his trade. But this is the part no one remembers. Nobody wanted him.
Because of his contract.
Not only the contract, but at the same time, they were like, why are we going to get Russ? Like we kind of see a pattern. If he can't be that guy,
so when LA got Russ, nobody wanted Russ, is what you're saying?
To an extent. I don't think the office really wanted him. This is why I blame LeBron, because I think what it came down to is when everything was going on. Because again, when they wanted the trades, they reached out to LA originally. Look, LA originally said no, and then that's when LeBron said, hey, yo, now we need to bring him over here. That's why I say I do blame LeBron in the front office for bringing him here. However, this is
my main point. But look, my main point on this was just simple. It's not on Braun. It's not on AD. It's not on Russ. It's not on Melo. This team is not built good. This team is not built with the people to play off of each other the right way. It's just not. And I don't care what no one says. LeBron has a history of not doing. And when you have a superstar, a couple superstars in the basketball court, your numbers are going to look good as far as the win column. But LeBron has a history of not doing well and not meshing well with ball dominant point guards. It's a proven fact. It's a proven fact. So I don't understand why people are so flabbergasted at the fact that Russell and Braun are not working.
But that's not why I'm flabbergasted. You know what I mean? I'm not flabbergasted at that. I will also say this: I'm more flabbergasted that we're not blaming Russ.
See, that's
I'm flabbergasted.
Right.
That's no.
Here you go. No. Never let a brother just say it.
I love you.
I'm trying to say it to your face, and you won't let me say it.
No, because you've been doing whataboutism the whole time. I gave you an opportunity.
I am trying to look
saying,
pride.
It's Russ.
I am
bring up
looking
THT.
You straight in the eyes, Pride.
Malik Monk. You bring up.
Here you go.
Jay, hold on, Pride.
No, bro.
For the last 40 minutes, I've been trying to look Pride and Freddie straight in the face and say, I was wrong. He's dog shit. But I never get the chance to say that because then they'll go, oh, but you said the rest of the roster shit. They are. He's
No. So, Mike, don't let them urge you to demand a trade.
No, he's shit. He's shit. I said it from the beginning of the year. I told Jay, I told Aman, I told Pride, if it happens past All-Star break, he's dog shit. It's happening. It's worse than All-Star break. It's worse than before.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding. Ron, Aman, Pride. Mike.
Ron's on one today. Don't talk to Ron.
Right, I got to get Ron in this too. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding what's going on here. So we agree Braun and Westbrook are not a match made in heaven. We can all agree on that, right?
Russell's a match made in anything right now.
Okay. So prior to this, we also agree that it was amazing seeing Oscar Robertson type numbers, correct?
You said what?
Triple
prior
doubles.
To this,
the triple doubles?
We were not just triple doubles, bro. You can't just triple doubles. No, it ain't just triple doubles. He averaged a triple double for
because you're just saying you just said numbers. You just said numbers. I'm trying to figure out.
I said we're not going to sit here and pretend like the Oscar Robertson type numbers were not amazing.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So now he has this issue, and let's be honest, any type of relationship that has a bad shake, it brings the worst out of people. Whether it's a relationship outside of the court or basketball or sports or whatever, it brings the worst out of people. And we're seeing this bringing the worst out of these two right now. I'm not about to sit up here and say Russell Westbrook is dog shit because of this situation in this season.
He's playing like
he's having a bad run. He's having a bad season. I'll agree with that. He's having a horrible season, but he ain't dog shit. Period.
But he's just playing like
Oscar Robertson is Oscar Robertson type numbers. Period. You can't take that from him.
Okay, hold on. No. Because again, what you're trying to do, you're trying to go around it without saying it. He's playing like dog shit. Correct.
I said that he's had a horrible season. He's having a horrible season. This is the worst season that Russell can probably since elementary school.
So if I say he's playing like dog shit, if I say he's playing like dog shit, it's okay for me to say that, right?
Yes, because he's playing like dog shit. But okay, I just want to make sure we clarify. Remember to put the word "playing like," but because you guys been saying he is dog shit, the dude is horrible. Like that slander has to go somewhere.
Yeah,
that slander has to go somewhere.
All I'm trying to say is that one day Russ is not going to be a part of this Lakers team, and whether that's next season or at the end of this one, whenever that may be, the rest of this roster is still bad. That's all I'm saying.
That's not how you were saying it, Mike.
But that's how I'm trying to say it. But every time I try to say it, Freddie starts going on and on and on and on and on because he doesn't hear what I'm trying to say. He hears the first three words and then it's automatically bam, attack.
I'll be honest.
Run back the tape, Pride. Please run back the tape after this. I've been trying to talk to you for the last 45 minutes. And every time I tried, Aman and Ron both saw, Freddie comes out, no, let me tell you, from this, if my mother told me something, it was this. If you want to say something, I said, say it right. I don't give a fuck, Mr. President. I'm trying to tell you he's dog shit, and you're cutting me off just to tell me he's fucking dog shit.
But
I
that's the thing.
was wrong, Pride. He's horrible. He's ass. He's Punani. He's Cameron Payne of 2016. And I've been trying to say that for 45 minutes, bro.
But
just
Mike,
the season, right?
But the thing, just the season. I'm talking about strictly the season. I'm just talking about strictly the season, right? But my thing is, and here's my thing. You say that, but then you also say, oh, yeah, but look, and I said this, if you combine all the other problems that this roster has, I understand that, but here's my thing, because you're also trying to blow it up to the point that it's like, it almost seems unmountable. You combine all of those problems, and the impact is not even half of the impact Russell Westbrook has.
But here's my thing.
I disagree with that, and that's my point, and that's what I've been trying to drive the narrative on. Think about this. How many centers do they have? How many centers do they have on their roster?
5.
Too many.
How many centers do they play in their rotation?
If you count Brown, there's like 5.
To be honest,
they play one center in their rotation, and they rotate who that one center is.
And the one they traded everything for doesn't want.
Oh! You're talking about okay. So you're talking about like for each game, there's only one center, and you're basically running center the entire. Okay.
But they got 5 centers on their roster.
Right.
Gotcha. You look at the team and the individuals that they have. You can kind of say that THT and Austin are kind of very similar basketball players. Where do they fit in? Why are they on the court at the same time? Like, there's a lot of things, if you really break down this Lakers team, that is not set up right. You can't blame the players at this point. That's what I'm saying. It's not Bron. No, bro. It's not Bron. It's not AD. It's not Russ. It's not Melo. It's the conglomerate. This is not a good conglomerate. They don't see eye to eye. You want Melo wants the ball in the post. He wants you to clear out. He wants you to give him time to work somebody. LeBron don't want to give Melo the ball in the post because Bron wants to screen a pick and roll. LeBron, it doesn't work out. Westbrook wants to get the rebound and push it. LeBron's tired. He's 40. He like, yo, West, hold up, bro. We just ran up the court 60 times. AD just trying not to get hurt. There's so many things wrong with this roster. You can't point the finger at one. As much as you say Russ, do you know what Russ is out there doing? Everything he possibly can to make something happen to make something happen because LA, if you just let it go, there's no one on the roster right now just making things happen. LeBron is saving his energy for the fourth quarter so he can close out games. So who's going to do the 1 through 3? If AD's on a bench wearing a tie.
But you say that, but you're also acting like Russ is actually performing. He's not. The dude is literally, he's not.
Go ahead.
That's why he's not.
He's not. That's it. And I understand that you want to defend him. That's fine. But at the same time,
it's not about defending Russ. I'm not talking about Russ.
I'm talking about
every other problem. I'm talking about every other problem on the team, and you guys keep bringing up Russ. You guys keep saying the name Russ. I just broke it down.
Hold on, 5. No, you didn't. And I'm explaining why. Because when you're talking about, no one else does it, Malik Monk had a great stretch. And then what ended up happening? You see,
why haven't they been going to no.
I'm telling you why. He had a great stretch. And then what do you see? Like, what was it? 7 games after? Every time. And then on the sideline, how do you see Russ? On the corner talking to himself because nobody wants to talk to him because he's complaining why he's not getting the ball. Because when the ball's not in his hands, all of a sudden the ball movement looks spectacular. Every single game this year, when Russ is on the bench, all of a sudden ball movement is the thing, confidence is the thing, camaraderie is the thing.
But that's where I've been coming from with it all year. I said it from the beginning of the season. If Russ came off the bench, he could still be that triple-double machine. He can still be that. But they force him into this starting five.
I don't know if that could because the thing is, Melo has a solid groove with that whole, you know what I mean?
Again, that's the Lakers team. It's not Russ.
What did you just say? Him and who? Him and Melo, they worked perfectly together in OKC.
So you say move Melo up to the
no,
starting lineup?
They played together in OKC perfectly fine.
I wouldn't go as far as say perfectly fine there, Skip.
He's doing the same shit he was doing in OKC.
I wouldn't go and say perfectly fine there.
He's
now, Skip.
averaging the same amount he did in OKC. The only difference is in OKC, it was like, why aren't you averaging 25? The reason you weren't averaging 25 is because you just couldn't hack it anymore. That's why you didn't get back to the league until Portland took a chance on you. You're doing the same shit you did in Portland. It's the same shit.
Can I also put this notion on it?
Go ahead.
This says significance to
He's
the
ass.
amount of why we hold great coaches up on a pillar. Because this comes down to Frank Vogel not being able to control so many alpha males. So, with lack of better words, you got Carmelo. Hold on,
He handled
Carmelo
well, though.
Because I don't think anyone ever said Frank Vogel was, a guy. I always thought he was just solid. I always thought he was mid. Like,
no, it's not about him. But when you break it down, what we're talking about right here, what you two were just speaking about, that comes down to Frank Vogel being able to sell that in the locker room. That comes down to Frank Vogel being able to go to Russ and go to Melo and say, "Hey, I want you guys to be a 1-2 tandem off the bench." That's going in there controlling the locker room to give them where your end goal is and push them in that and have them believe in you. So again, man, there's so many levels of issues on this team, and you guys keep saying Russell Westbrook, and I'm trying to show you there's layers to it. Meek Mill said it the best. There's levels to this shit.
Not as bad as Russ at all, period. And I mean that.
I mean, you can say that, bro, because you see Russ. No, because it's easier. It's easier to see that because Russ is on the court. Russ is doing this. But if you take a step back and break it down, bro, there's so much more going on there, Brian. There's so much more.
What I'm saying is the impact Russ is having is horrible because, again, with all those problems when he's not on the court, tell me why the Lakers all of a sudden look great.
You know what it sounds like between
yesterday. No. They were
look,
when they had Russ on the court, they were down like 30 to something. Russ goes to the bench. All of a sudden, they almost brought to like a 10-point game.
All I gotta say is this, guys. Between you and Freddie with the Russ talk, I'm gonna say it again. It's the song that never is. It just goes on and on, my friend. They started singing it, not knowing what it was.
No, I'm just saying, this is the first time in NBA history
it just doesn't change.
I play bad, and instead of saying, "Yup, that's bad. He's a problem," instead of doing that, all of a sudden it's everybody else. It's like,
it's
this
not
guy.
That. We all said that Russ is having a bad season. Russ is having a bad season, but you cannot say that everybody else on the team is having a good season. That's the problem. That's the problem. I said we've all agreed that Russ is having a bad season, but you can't sit here and say everybody else is having a good one, and that's the problem.
Right.
So it's the team
because again, I'm telling you, every Lakers game when Russ is on the bench, they go on a great trip. Last night they had like a 24-6 stretch with him on the bench. He comes in, what happens?
So they got 15 players. One player is the issue, and you're telling me the other 14 players can't figure it out? That's more of an issue than Russ. I'm telling you, I don't care how you break it down.
The biggest
one player having an issue
is Russ without a shadow of a doubt. I'm gonna say it one more time. He's the biggest problem without a shadow of a doubt. And if you get all the other problems to combine it, it's still not even half of the impact, the negative impact that Russ brings. That's it. If you don't believe me, with all the supposed problems you've had, when he's on the bench, explain to me why all of a sudden the Lakers go on a run.
Explain to me when it was just Russ and AD, Russ looked fine. When Bron had his little false COVID and the league tried to fuck him kind of thing, Russ looked great. It's the problem. Russ cannot be 2, 3, 4, 5, or anything else. That's the problem. And that was the problem before he even got here, as you understood.
Right.
He needs to be that. Which is why I'm saying, Clive, I am agreeing with you.
That's right.
I said from the beginning, when I started it's not, and don't twist it, don't get it twisted, act like I'm some pet saying it's because of Jim Cross or it's because of any of those guys. I'm telling you, I was not about to do it after 15 games tell you that the rest of this season is going to be complete dog shit. After 15 games,
but that's the thing. That's not what I was looking for. I was
no,
looking
what
for
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, the Washington Wizards in the first 15 games were first in the East. First in the East. I didn't put stock into anything. I kept my mouth shut about everything other than the Chicago Bulls because that's my lane. Everything.
Okay, hold on. Put that up. I want you to put that up one more time because you put that up and you lean back and you made a point. Right in funny part, has LeBron had some bad moments? Yes, he has. No debate. Melo, of course. Now, do me a favor. Have they had more good times or more bad times? They've had more good times. Don't
smash Carmelo and LeBron in there. Hold on. Don't smash Carmelo and LeBron in there and ask that question as a general statement because Carmelo and LeBron good times moments are not the same. Carmelo hasn't had those same type of. Wait. He was on that Portland team that got knocked out. He was on those teams that got knocked out. So don't twist that. Don't twist that. Because that's the narrative. Because that's the narrative. That's the problem.
You just told me it was just this year. That's what you told me.
Carmelo never does nothing.
You said it's just based on just this year. That's what you told me. You told me it was
this right here. No, not me. Damien's question had to do with everything. So make sure you're talking about what we're talking about.
Y'all say Russ sacks, which is the reason he goes to team. But what is Carmelo and LeBron's excuse? Again, I'm gonna say it one more time.
He leads teams, and somehow everyone wants to give him passes. They're talking about the thing that we're talking about right this moment.
No, because we're talking. See, and this is why when it comes to Russ, the Russ fanboys, I can't talk to them because they love the conversation. Mike, you're one of them. I don't care, Mike. You're one of them because you do the same thing every single one of them do. We're talking about this year, yet all of a sudden y'all want to change the narrative. Did I say Russ sucks because he went from team to team? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this year on the Los Angeles Lakers roster, he is a detriment. This year, I'm not talking about last year. I'm not talking about the year before that.
That's
I'm
totally
talking about
fine.
year, and I'm not predicting his future. This year, he's a detriment, and that's not a hot take.
And I'm agreeing with you.
We've already said that, but what we wanted to say was what you told us to put back up was this. So what we were talking about just a moment ago was this thing right here is what he was bringing up, and what he was bringing up was the fact that they get passes for leading teams. They get passes for doing bad on other squads, which is why we were bringing up Portland and Carmelo. That's it. That's why this question brought up that. So again, don't make it a Westbrook fan base. This is not what this is.
It is a Westbrook fan base.
Hold on, make sure you get it correct. I'm a Suns fan. Make sure you get it correct.
No, it's a Westbrook fan.
No. Make sure you get it correct.
I'm not saying you're a Suns fan. Listen,
I'm not a part of the fan base.
So you can have you can have that player you like, but I'm saying it's a Russell Westbrook fanboy type of thing because instead of saying
I'm definitely not that.
I can't stand you. My thing is, look, Russ is playing bad. He is the problem. And if you all the other Lakers problems, you combine them, they're not as bad as him. And I hear you. This is the question that I ask, and nobody wants to answer. And the reason is because you can't answer it. Why is it that when Russ is on the floor, they get dominated? He goes to the bench, and all of a sudden, they go and runs consistently.
Can I answer that without you interrupting me? All right.
I want you to answer.
The reason that happens is what we've been talking about since I got on here. They don't mesh on the floor. So again, in what Mike alluded to earlier, Russ needs to be with the second unit. So when you take him off the court and you let that other first unit take over, LeBron being the primary ball handler on that unit, things are different. Now, when Russ is on the second unit, you got guys like Austin on the court who are good at spot-up shooting. You got guys like Malik Monk on the court who are good at spot-up shooting. So Russ can drive and kick a little bit different. LeBron, I will give LeBron his what he deserves, and that's his us focusing on the fact that he focused on improving his three-point percentage over the season. And now LeBron has been able to take charge on that and be able to do that. But prior to this, that wasn't LeBron's stronghold, bro. And being on the court with Russ is going to be more of draw the double team and kick out to open players or score the ball if he doesn't draw the double team. So putting him again to what Mike's been saying since Mike, what was that, October? Bro, on this particular squad, it would be better for Russ to come off the bench and play with that second unit. And Pride, to what you've been saying, you're showing us the results of that. So that's all that is.
All I know is we've seen him play with the second unit because that's
yes, we have, and they do, and he does good. Yeah, he does good with the second unit. And if you can't admit to that, that's the problem in this conversation, in this dialogue, that one side tells you, okay, yeah, that is reality, and the other side doesn't want to agree because it will give the other side an advantage in the conversation. And that's not what this is.
Not an advantage in the conversation.
So then how could you sit there and say that when he's on that second unit, he doesn't perform better than when he's on the floor with the first unit? You can't honestly say that. He froze up on us. But you can't honestly say that. Like,
no, not at all. And it's like, I just look at it. I'm counting it right now. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guards on this team. Kendrick Nunn doesn't count because Kendrick Nunn hasn't played at all. The other two are Augustine. You got Ellington, Malik Monk, Reeves, and Russell Westbrook. That's not good. You're not good. And I'm on. I want to tell you where I'm coming from with it.
Go for it, bro.
Now that everyone's frozen, I can speak. He's dog shit right now. Right now. He's
at the
horrible.
moment.
Right. It's been a long moment, but it's a moment. My big thing right now, hey Ron, welcome back. But my big thing is just when I look at this guy overall, I know that's not what he is. Whatever this is, whatever it is going on, is awful. But think of it like this: you got a 5-time serial killer in a prison, right?
Oh God!
Right? You got the baddest man in the world in a prison, the biggest criminal to ever exist, right?
Okay.
Hey. I'm just waiting to see where this is going.
Come on. Exactly. That's Russell Westbrook. He's a criminal right now.
Somebody keep the door open for us to get out of.
Now, when he gets moved to a different prison, is the prison he was in, yes or no, still a prison full of horrible people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Lakers roster, when he's
me and Jay on the same page, we're like, oh, what do we get ourselves into?
He's still off. That roster's still awful with or without Russ. And you could put in Dame, and that's cool.
Analogy, but yes, you were.
I'm just saying,
100% right.
When Russ leaves, this team is fucked with or without him.
If Russ gets injured today,
they're still bad.
They don't change.
Still bad, 100%.
Kendrick Nunn is still out the rest of the season.
Even if he came
Reeves
back,
is still not great.
If Kendrick came back and Russ got injured and AD was back, they still wouldn't improve that great much.
And I think where some people come from, like trying to put all of it on Russ, is the reason they are so bad is because when they moved to Russ, they let go of all of their depth, what they 100%. Shouldn't have done. And that's not Russ's fault. I'm not saying that's Russ's fault. I'm just saying that's where I think the conversation comes because they're saying, well, we could have had Caruso or DeRozan and this guy and that guy giving us production, but Russ isn't.
But why don't they add that to AD's coattail?
And they should. Again, I'm just saying I think that's where the thing is coming from. I think that's
what was in the New Orleans package? Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball,
100%.
Bunch of picks.
Bro.
But I think again, I agree with Jay. I'm with you on this. I'm with you there. Russell Westbrook is a detriment to this team. But I think the reason more people are ready to put everything on Russell Westbrook is because they're seeing what we could have had and what they ended up having. And they're kind of comparing it like
that's where I'm like, bro, you were gonna get Buddy Hield, but who shut it down?
So who do you blame? Not if you said Ron shut it down.
Ron was like, fuck that. I want Russ. And you know why I'm on? And I've been saying it and no one wants to hear it.
You said Bron. I thought you said Ron did it. I was like, how did Ron call?
No, I blame Ron for a lot of things, but I won't blame him for that.
Like, hey,
but Ron,
you better not.
Yes or no, bro? The way the finals were looking, check this out. Anthony Davis and James Harden, they cancel each other out. There's no real beef there, right? Who cares? They're both in the West at the same time. I guess you could say that. Here's where the money grabber is. LeBron James versus Kyrie Irving hate each other. Russell Westbrook versus Kevin Durant hate each other. LeBron James did that shit to match the energy, to make it a story, to buy box office tickets. Buddy Hield wasn't going to do that.
Man, no. They don't
but Buddy Hield would have got you a championship.
And to your point, to the casual fan, Buddy Hield's not a huge name. So, and that goes back to my original statement. This team was built on headlines. This team we're in LA.
Carmelo Anthony, all these other names.
And think about the marketing. Right. Think about the marketing. We got the king in LA in one of the biggest marketing areas in the universe. Not just United States, one of the biggest marketers in the universe. Right. So then we got LeBron. So we're bringing all this trafficking in already. Then we get Russ. That's a big name. Then we got AD, another huge name, the Brow. You know, you got all these things. You go get Carmelo. Then you go get Rondo. It was all big names.
Yeah.
I said this in the beginning. It looked a lot like Gary Payton, Karl Malone in LA back then. And I didn't see it working. I said that when it happened.
I think a lot of it never started working.
Right. Yeah, but now fast forward, the guys that were so gun-ho on it working are blaming the very guy that they said it was the reason why it was going to work.
Hey, and but again, real shit, come on, real shit. If this is 2012, it's beautiful.
Yeah, 2012, you're not getting them. You're not. You can't get all of them because they worth too much.
You had the king of Orlando and Dwight Howard. You had the king of New York and Melo. You had the king of Cleveland and LeBron. King of Miami. King of everywhere. I'll give it to him. You have the triple double king. You have Anthony Davis, who was an ascending talent. The only time you ever had anything negative to say about him was that video where he was butt ass naked.
Imagine the marketing on that. You could have the headbands. You could have designer headbands.
100%. That's the banana boat.
Instead of them selling women's eyelashes, they'd have been selling men eyebrows.
but that's the thing, bro. Is you brought in all these names thinking it was 2012,
right?
Thinking that because they all known each other for years that it's going to be perfect. Even Rondo, to an extent, they thought Rondo was going to be.
They were trying to make themselves the LA Yankees.
Exactly, and that's the problem with me, Aman, is like. You get all these veteran minimums, and 90% of the team is a veteran minimum aside from the top three and maybe Carmelo Anthony. Maybe. He's still not making much. It's a 1-year prove-it deal. To me, bro, it's like when Russ does leave, say it's Damian Lillard, say it's John Wall, there's no depth. These bench players average 2 points a game. And I get that, okay, Russ is averaging 5 points. That's bad. That's really bad. But the point of it is still, so is everybody else.
Right.
Now Russ needs to step up, but you're still down 60. It's still 30-6 against Toronto the other night.
Right.
Where's AD?
We scored.
Where's everybody else?
In the first half.
Russ, Aman, bro. Russ is awful. I just needed longer than 15 games to be able to say that because history has told me that
and that's the problem. That's the problem, Mike, and that's why it sounds like I'm defending Russ on a regular basis because he's not ass. This team,
he's ass.
No, this team.
On this team, he's bad. On this team, he's bad.
All right, I can deal with that because in every other situation that wasn't good, Russ figured it out. Every other one of them. Yeah, dude, he thrived.
Bro, Houston, he didn't figure it out. Houston, he never figured it out.
But he still thrived in Houston. Him personally, yes, he still had numbers in Houston. He was still doing his thing. It wasn't like this. He still figured out how to do Russ. And that's where I have the problem here in LA is that there's too many, and this is where I go back to the coaching analogy I made earlier. There's too many egos in the room to figure it out to make it even look like a cohesive
and
unit.
Just dog shit, like I can't defend.
They can't even look good losing. I mean, Sacramento looks good losing.
Right, but to your point though, Jay, it's like you're still missing wide open layups to Freddie and Pride's point. It's like, dude, you do have to hit him when they're given to you, and he's not. So it's like,
bro, you're in LA, and all right, guys, this does sound like I'm like I'm fully. This sounds like I'm crying the river for Westbrook at this moment. But
I'm just trying to agree, ass, and everyone's like, don't do that, and I'm like,
but look, and again, this might sound a little like I'm really, really on the defend Russell bandwagon, but I'm also going to break down the other side. Russ is in LA. He's from LA. He was so excited to come back. He wanted to be the greatest Russ he could be in LA. Then you got one of the hardest fan bases besides of New York or maybe Chicago. You got one of the hardest fan bases to deal with. And then you got the king, who really is, if the king ain't on your side and he kind of starts veering away from you, then everybody, even the people that don't even mess with the Lakers, are going to start getting on Russ. So, and Russ is hearing crazy shit in the stands while he's playing from his own fans. Like, there's a lot of other stuff going on now this late in the season and why he's fell off so hard. And I mean, you've heard it in his press conferences even. He's saying it's starting to get to him. He's saying it's affecting his family's day-to-day living now. He's saying it's so I understand why it's progressively getting worse. And honestly, who's the leader of the team?
Come on, is that real?
Yeah, that's real. LeBron, Jay, your point? Is that what you're going with? LeBron?
Yeah. And at some point,
Fucking Jackson, Mahomes, and Juju. Oh my
shit.
So Ryan Evans tweeted out, sources say that Kansas City Chiefs are nearing a deal with free agent wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster to a 2-year deal per Adam Schefter.
I love you guys, but good day. I am not going to live in a world where Juju and Jackson Mahomes are in the same realm. So I will see y'all.
What the heck? Hey, do you guys think it's messed up that Kansas City didn't even call Tyrann Mathieu?
Bro, that's oh my god, that's awful, man. That's awful. He's the leader of that defense. You know what I mean? Like, he's the heart and soul. Everyone says it, and then they just, all right, we done with you. He's about to sign with Vegas.
That's a good move. He's his personality is a Raider.
I guess that tells you how Kansas City felt about their defense.
Yeah, they don't care. They let Ward walk too. Ward signed elsewhere. Jatavius Ward. He had like the second best. He was ranked as like second or third best corner in the NFL.
But that's kind of how Kansas City's done their defenders for the past 3 years.
And that's why they don't have a defense, and why the Chargers right now look like the best team in the division. Like, if we're being honest about it.
I mean, if the Raiders sign one or two more sleepers, they don't have a lot of holes, bro. Him and Abram back there at the safety position, that's going to be dangerous.
Yeah. And I was saying the Chargers because you got JC and Derwin and Mack and Bosa. You're talking about, and then that offense is still that offense. It's
in the NFL. They're probably going to be
who's a better combo though? Mike Williams and Herbert, or Juju and Mahomes?
Well, I think that Mike Williams and Herbert, if I look at it just like that, but if you add in the
so you're not that high on Juju, then it sounds like
it's not.
But if he's the number 3, number 4 guy, then I can be high on Juju. That's the number 1 or number 2. Right. I'm not sold. But if he's my number 3, number 4, that's where he had success in Pittsburgh. Right? When AB kind of took all the pressure off, he would have his 100-yard games. Now you make him 3rd, 4th guy. Hey, you got all day long.
Because you're not going to get the safety covering him.
Exactly.
Hovering over him because they got to hover over Kelsey. You're not going to get the top or the fastest corner on the field because they got to fuck with Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
This Juju is going to be so dangerous. It's not even about him. It's about the team. Like, that's going to be dangerous as hell. Yeah. Like if Juju went to Tampa, I'd be like, oh.
Well, even in Tampa, he'd be number 3. He would still wouldn't have to be.
But I don't think it'd be the same dynamic.
Yeah.
You got 3 regular receivers. Like you got, and in Kansas City, I see 3 like specialty receivers.
Yeah, definitely agree.
You know what I mean? Like just like Dallas, I think that's what Dallas kind of like failed with what they were dealing with last year because they had 4 solid receivers and they didn't use them right. You know what I mean? They were just kind of like 4 regular. They didn't capitalize on their specialty tools. So, man, there's been a lot of moving though, a lot. And what do you guys feel about the freaking bait and hook that what's his name did to Dallas?
Randy Gregory. Oh my god,
that was beautiful.
It's so funny it happened to Dallas. I think that's the best part. It happened to Dallas, but him going to Denver too, man. Now Denver looks that AFC West is so packed. It's a shame that probably one of them are gonna have to miss the playoffs because they're just gonna beat each other up. Like it's oh my god.
I really
think the Raiders.
Who?
I said I'm praying that it's the Raiders. We need to
miss the playoffs.
Playoffs. Yeah, if I had to pick, I don't want to see the playoffs without Denver or San Diego. We already had to go without San Diego.
I don't want to see a playoff with Denver.
You don't want the Broncos in the playoffs with Russ?
No, ever since John Elway and Terrell Davis, they've been one of the most boringest teams in the NFL to me. Even when they won the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, they were boring as heck. It was
when they lost the Super Bowl, they were fun. When they lost the Super Bowl, they were good.
Yeah, no, but
because they scored like 60 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like he scored
Peyton Manning and the Horsemen.
Yeah, no, they're just a boring franchise to me. I would prefer I would prefer the Raiders, the Chargers, and Kansas City to battle themselves through the freaking dirt.
Wow, I like that take.
For real, man, they're just a boring franchise. They really are. They're not even horrible. They're just boring. like what was it? The year before last when they had Phillip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon killing people. I was like, they're good together, but it's boring as heck watching the team. Like Melvin even looked boring running. Like I was like, Melvin don't even look like he wants to run out there. Like, no, they're just a boring franchise. Yeah. So if I had to pick, I would go the other three. And I really think that you guys are gonna have that division's gonna have 3 teams in the playoffs.
I think they have to have 3 teams in the playoffs. Honestly, all 4 should deserve to be in there, but 4 ain't gonna make it. They just you have to beat each other up too much. So 3 will make it.
And what if Cleveland doesn't get like Watson? Like at this point, they traded their whole team away.
Dude, oh my God. They are in a situation now where like you're banking on Baker. You have to hope that he's the guy if you don't get Deshaun. And if he's not, you are in the worst position ever.
I mean, are you banking on Baker?
You have to. Like, what else can you do? At this point, if you can't
start over.
Start over. But with this roster, can you start over? You got to trade everybody. Like,
who do they have left?
You still got Garrett. You still like the receiving core is left, but you still have the top.
You got Myles Garrett and Baker.
But you still got top 2 offensive line in the NFL. You still got the 2 running backs in Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. You still got the tight end and David Njoku. They franchise tagged him.
But he's gonna be gone to me. Like you franchise tag.
But you still have this year. I think this year you got to see what Baker is, I guess, because if you franchise tag Njoku, he's telling me at least you're gonna try to make some type of a run.
But to me, this is what it tells me. Baker, I want you to be better than last year. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all your power tools away from you.
Hey, well, apparently I just saw this pop up. The Jarvis Landry is working on a deal with Cleveland, so they might be able to get him back. So let's see if they are able to restructure that. Again, Cleveland to me, even then Cincinnati just looks so good after they got the 2 offensive linemen, Alex Kappa and then Ted Karras yesterday. And then if they can go get Myles Jack, woo.
And Baltimore's in a bad position too with with Hollywood Brown talking about retiring the podcast. That really changes the game.
Yeah, the AFC North's kind of up in the air right now, and it looks like Cincinnati's they're gonna be in at this point. So
they're kind of a shoo-in, especially they're already addressing the offensive line.
That was so good from them. I was waiting for that.
Yeah. Well, Amon, I think this is we call this episode a wrap. I came on and ran everybody away with the Russell, I guess. You know?
Hey, you were just too good. You're too good. You're hitting them with too much.
you know, about it has to come out from somewhere. I guess, you know, I'll be the one slinging the truth around. But no, that was another episode of ASAP in the morning. I guess right now it's just me and Amon saying so long to everybody. We'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. When you going to be back on with us, Amon?
I'll be back tomorrow. I'm on spring break, so I got all week.
All right. So we got you all week, especially with all this high free agency news. We're going to need it. So we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Whole sports, all plays. Yeah. Whole sports, all plays. Whole sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.